What's going on, crazy world? Welcome to another episode of the Black Sheep Perspective. I believe we're on episode 26, if I'm not mistaken. Real quick, I just want to tell everybody out there, man, thank you so much for the support. Just yesterday, I was posting on my Instagram that we just hit 500 subscribers on YouTube. To me, that's huge. I know it's just the beginning. I know there's so much more to do and accomplish and reach, and I know we're going to blast that shit out the water. But to get here in less than a year is pretty big to me, pretty big to the people I work with. Shout out to Doug Soboato, who's been helping me this whole way. That's my editor, and that's my partner and everything else. And a big thank you not just to the fans, but to all the guests who've been on the show. Really appreciate every one of you guys. You guys helped this get where it's at. And again, I know you guys are all going to come back, and we're going to keep killing it. But yo, today is November 11th, if I'm not mistaken. Tomorrow's a big day of fights. We'll talk about that another time. But I got really lucky with my two guests today. These are two close friends of mine that, well, the reason I say I got lucky is you guys are going to hear the story of how they made some big business moves that took them away from Miami when I had first met them. And I ended up being their trainer and coach. And then coach, we started a friendship. Like I always say, that happens with a lot of my clients. They become close friends. And they always had a dopest story. And I was just telling them, hey, before you fuckers leave, I need to do a podcast with you. But I was so in beginning phase. And one of them had to make a real boss move and move to Atlanta. We're going to talk about that. And then the other one shortly followed, and he went to L.A. because they're making moves. So I want to welcome to the show the brothers. They're brothers. I wish we had the third one. We'll get into him. But we got Danny and Ricky Duenas. Duenas? With the nye? Enye.
Don't forget the enye.
I'm pretty sure if guys are watching on YouTube, anybody watching on YouTube, they can already tell you motherfuckers of Mexican descent.
Yep, sir.
But for those of you listening, if you can't, you will find out. These motherfuckers got all kind of Mexican in them. They're going to say a lot of funny shit.
Cuban.
Yeah, be ready for a funny show, folks, because even though I want to hear their story, I want to hear the details of how they got to where they got and what they did with what they accomplished. But there's some shit-talking animals, and we're friends, and they grew up in Miami, even though they're of Mexican culture, and now they're all around from Atlanta to Cali. So they got all kind of shit to talk and compare. But, all right, guys, so tell us a little bit about your story. Tell us a little bit about your background. First of all, were you guys born in Miami, or did you come from the fucking frontier?
Nah, born and raised.
We're all born in Miami. We're four brothers, so we're all born here in Jackson Memorial.
The oldest is Juan?
Juan, the one that follows Jose, and then Danny, then me.
Okay.
Four brothers, four Mexican.
And what's that go? Damn, boy, your mama had four boys.
Four boys.
Were your parents together the whole time?
Yep.
Yeah?
Still together.
That's right. We were talking about that.
I think 40 years.
So did they come from Mexico themselves?
Yeah. My mom had a green card, and my dad was just straight
Illegal.
Do you know the story of how he got in?
Oh man, this man, he has I think he snuck in the country like 4 or 5 times.
Oh, he kept getting caught, or he had to go back?
No, he kept going back because to him it was so easy. He kept going back. Oh, let's go visit my mom.
Especially back then, it was a lot
so
easier.
it was like, okay, it's time to come back, and he said he would drive up to the border and just be like, American citizen, and the guy go like, okay, and
like that back there, open, wide.
Like they know if you were, by looking at your face, if you're telling the truth or not. And I guess he had a good poker's face, so
yeah, he just knew like if I show fear, they're gonna know. So he would show up like, oh no, we're gonna just go buy so he wouldn't pack the bags. He would show up like, no bags packed, nothing. Oh no, I'm just gonna come and buy some meat and bring it back. Yep. Oh, okay, go ahead. And then my mom will bring the bags and everything, and we'll just take off. Yep. But he got caught a couple times in Homestead in the fields. They shipped him back.
How were they making ends meet once they got over here?
Well, from what I was told, my mom and my dad, like in any country, they just work really hard, save up their money, and then cash in the money, like the pesos for dollars, right? Until they think they have enough. Hey, we got $5,000. Okay, that's a lot of money for them. Let's go. And then my mom had a sister here. And then she was like, yeah, come on, I'll bring you guys. So they brought him to Homestead. Yeah. And they were just staying at our auntie's house, sleeping on the floor, and then picking in the field. Yeah.
So for people who don't know, Homestead, Miami is a predominantly Mexican-oriented inner city, or what would you call it? City. It's a small city. It's in the southern region of Miami. It's literally what you would say, which is right before the Keys, right before Monroe County kicks in, before the very, very upperish Key kicks in. So when you hear them refer to Homestead, a lot of Mexicans go over there when they migrate to South Florida or Miami. So.
Yeah, there's like from I remember there's 3 camps. South Day Camp, right, which that's a camp where the basically the farmers go and live at.
Yeah,
right?
they call them migrant
camps, right? So they'll live there. They'll pay $100 a month, $150, you know. And then there's Redland Camp and Everglades Camp. So when my dad got there, he was living, and they're usually like 2-1s, right? They're no bigger than 2-1.
Very small, 500 square feet probably.
It's my mom, my dad, my oldest brother, right? He was probably newborn, and then my mom's sister, husband, and she had 2 kids. So you had about 7 people, I would say.
All under one
roof. So, you know, they're waking up at 5 a.m, going to pick, you know, save up their money. And then what happens is there's a waiting list, right, for you to get one of those houses because the rent's so cheap. It's for migrant workers. This lady worked out a deal with my mom. She was like, hey, give me $500 and I'll let you take the house. I won't tell them that I'm leaving. I'll just let you come in and you just keep paying the rent. And I'll give you the TV, and I'm moving to I don't know where. So that's how my parents were able to get one.
Damn, nice little come up.
So boom, my parents went in there. And
so the Mexican lady that was there was leaving, but she said, I won't tell people I'm leaving. You guys just move in, break me off 500, and you guys start.
So a lot of the migrant workers, that for people that don't know, they migrate with season. So they'll go to North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, come to Florida. Some of them stay here because, you know, construction and all that. This is Hurricane Andrew, when the homestead was just straight agriculture. But they move a lot, they rotate, they go wherever they call Pisca, right? Wherever the picking is good at, that's where they go. So we got lucky, you know, they're rotating, maybe moving to
Pisca, wherever the picking is good at.
Yeah. So they will go there, and you know, my parents wanted to stay here. I guess they saw homestead as a good opportunity. Especially my dad started working in construction, so you know, here, Homestead, Kendall, all this just grew with the construction before Andrew and after. So,
so do you guys have vivid memories of this young upbringing while you guys were still in Homestead?
I think it was probably a little before like our time. So this is before our time. It's like this is the story of how my parents got here and what was their scenario. So I would say they made the move, right? My mom came up, and, you know, obviously my mom and my dad, they came up on this little house in the camp. They moved there. So then the camp, a lot of people don't know, but you have all these Mexicans from different cities, right? And as everyone knows, the Mexican descent are number 1 in boxing, right? We have the most champion. So that means we're just fighters. Like, it's just in our blood. We're just ready to let's fight. So my dad is like, okay.
There was a lot of beef?
Not with him, but in the camp. There's shootouts, there's fights, there's stabbing.
Every night is people drinking.
And then you know Mexicans love to drink. It's just, it is what it is. So they just love to get drunk, and they're fighting, they're burnout. And my dad, like, man, this is no area for me to raise my kid. He's like, I need to get out of here. So he's working hard, picking. He gets into the construction job. He said some guy asked him, hey, you know how to do this? He said he didn't know how to do anything. He just said, yeah. He just went in there and just figured it out, learned. And, you know what I'm saying, he went from making, I say, you know, and picking $200, $300 a week, $500 a week in construction, starting off. Back in the 80s, right? So then he's like, okay, boom, he did that. He started saving up. He's like, I want to buy a house. So he just he ended up buying a house down in Homestead, and he moved all of us out of there. So I think there was other story. I think he was gonna buy the house. Something happened, and he ended up already giving up the house at the camp. So then they ended up moving into like a different area, which was worse than South Day Camp. And they were there for like 3 months, and then they already had sold everything. They had sold all the furniture. So they lived there until they got approval for the house.
Yeah, these camps are like, people need to understand, they're really rough. Like, you have illegal Mexicans, and you even have Haitians there sometimes that move there, Puerto Ricans. You know, they all go there because it's so cheap, and they just board up. Like, it's 8 people to the house, you know, and it gets rough because some of them are running away from Mexico too. Like there's criminals over there. They come over here. They hide there. Those people get drunk and they want to fight. You know.
Yeah.
So it's rough. You know. But they're also hard workers. So during the day, it's nice and quiet. As soon as the sun comes down, everyone comes back from work. Like, you know, it gets
They
rough.
start knocking them back.
Where does that habit come from that they're so known for the heavy drinking? Is that I'm totally jumping the gun here. Is that because, you know, the Mexican living, the Mexican, not culture, but like, you know, was it in such poverty or such a poor way that to deal with it, they built up that habit? Or is that just something that's been passed on?
I don't know.
I think it's passed on like from when they're little, and then they have a saying
heavy
too.
drinking.
Yeah, they have a saying like, "Oh, you work hard, you deserve a beer. You know, you drink one, pa'l cansado." You know, they always say that. So they'll pop a cold beer during work, after work. You know, like they prefer it like to relax. You know,
And then I'm probably gonna say this without even knowing or any scientific, but maybe they drink to not feel what they're doing, right? So if you're 8 hours and 100 degrees on a roof, you know, moving 50-pound bags of shingle, bro, anybody's gonna be like, yo, my back is fucking killing me.
Yeah.
But if you knock 2, 3 cold ones,
Right, of course. Yeah.
you know, you get that little buzz, you good, you feel good. You know, and you keep going. So maybe they use it as like, you got to understand, like, the type of work that we're typically known for is fucking hard construction, labor, you know, like I've done it. You know, my dad's taken us, me, Rick, my other brother, and that shit's no joke.
And so on that note, obviously your dad and both your parents, they taught you guys really good work ethic, you know, really good, you know, how to be responsible and put in work and blood sweat it, you know, to make it happen, especially when it's for the family, you know, for the good. And I'm assuming you guys, obviously I know this, you guys still have a great relationship with your parents, unless you order pizza under your mom's crib. We'll come back to that story. But anyhow, so let's fast forward a little bit. Throughout this whole upbringing, and here comes like, you know, middle school, high school years. Were you guys little badasses? Because, you know, South Dade didn't have a good reputation back then. I can tell you that for sure.
South Dade was the good school in our community.
Where'd you guys go to then?
Homestead.
Homestead High.
10 times worse,
Right. So, but did you guys get caught up in any of that bullshit or just your regular little?
No, I mean, my dad didn't play that. Like, you couldn't get caught up in none of that. Like, he was no joke. Like, you know
he was hard on us, on all 4 of us, right? And we all made mistakes, but he made sure, like, I guess he made his life's mission, right, to make sure that he was involved in our life and try to guide us, because he didn't have a father. So going to school, like tucking your shirt, you know, and us, you know, growing up, you don't want to be seen as a kid with your shirt tucked in. You're going to get picked on. So he will be hard on us, and, you know, we'll do it, and we'll pull it out when we get to school. But
of course,
he was hard on us, like, what you have in your book bag? Let me see. He'll pop up in school sometimes.
Was he a cinturón? Was he a fucking twitch? Was he everything?
As I got older, you got the punches to the stomach.
you got a hook to the left. Everything.
Oh shit, crap.
Oh man.
I got a crack.
Is he a tiny one or
Nah,
no?
he's like Ricky's height. But he worked construction, so he built.
He was built.
Did you really just catch a cramp right now?
Yeah, I just got fucking crap.
Oh.
What you thought I was just screaming
I
crap?
thought you were actually showing that you'll fake it with your dad when he'll punch you with a hook to the body. You'll be like, oh, cramp, you know.
Oh, I just caught a cramp.
That's a weird one to catch when you catch it anywhere like in the ribs or ab area.
No, I caught it in my hamstring.
You don't work out, shine. So that's good, man. So that's good. So then obviously, you know, good upbringing, you know, good work ethic, and I'm assuming that this is what probably eventually led you guys to your creativity and where you got. So to update people, and I want you to basically intercept as I pitch it in. So you guys started what's called My Mixtape.
Yeah, correct.
And My Mixtape started as an app.
Correct.
Okay, and for those of you who, because mixtapes, you know, if you're not old enough, and I think you guys are on the younger, well yeah, even Ricky a little bit, you know, well, I was going to say you're on the younger side of mixtapes still, but mixtapes for rappers back in the days to really push their music out without even being heard on the radio or having been signed to any record deal or anything like that, they would have to make these mixtapes, put some rap songs on there, probably make it real rookie style, amateur style. Some of them never mastered, whatever.
Correct.
And then they sling them out of the trunks. They walk down the beach.
Give 'em
They'll
out for free.
give them out for free. They hope that somebody hears it. And, you know, it was a big deal. You were, if you really wanted to make it in the music industry, you would make a mixtape in some
Correct.
shape or form, and you sling it. And it didn't matter if it didn't sound great. You just needed to be heard.
Yeah.
Well, now in this digital world, obviously, that pretty much doesn't exist anymore. So this idea is amazing. And walk us through it. How did it come about? Who was the brains? I heard it was you were the brains.
Correct.
And then you definitely weren't the muscle. So how did Ricky jump in this shit? But go ahead.
So real quick before I start, me and Ricky, we have 10 decisions to make. 9 out of those 10 decisions, we're gonna make the same decision.
Okay, that's dope.
Right. So I like to say that.
Meaning you guys agree on almost everything all the time.
Almost everything.
That's dope. Okay.
So I like to say, like, if I'm not in the room, he's there. I know he's gonna make the right decision. He's gonna see it.
Right on. Right on.
So that's what, like, that's why we make a good team.
Right.
Because hey, I can't be in Miami, but I know he'll make the right moves, and we have a great relationship. Yeah. We have our arguments and stuff. So the idea, we had an app that me and my other brother Jose had created. It was called Video Ringtone Maker, right? So when you would get a call, you would get this video to pop up, and it would be a video, right? And a music video, music video you want.
Instead of a ringtone, you're now watching a video.
Right, because we all had ringtones, but now I was like, oh, shit, you could play the video, listen to your song, and watch the video when someone calls you. So, boom, that jumped out.
Keep in mind, though, this is early 2001.
The first Android.
How old are you?
Like 19, 20.
Probably like 20, 21.
Yeah.
And right now you're 34?
32.
32.
Damn.
My bad, bro. I
Yeah,
forgot. No, I forgot.
So I want you to remember, this is when touchscreen phones was new.
Okay.
Right? We went from flip phones to Motorola, right?
Right.
To all digital touchscreen. So with the video showing, and remember the screens were super small, like this big, right? Like an inch or two. And you went to an Android that was like 3 or 3.5 inches, and you had a video playing, it was big. Like people were like in tune. It was like word of mouth too. Like if your phone were to ring from across the room, I'll see a video instead of just your name. Like I will ask, what app did you get?
Yeah.
So it sounds like a dope idea.
Like I can have let's say Many Men from 50 Cent. When you call me, that's what comes up. And then when Ricky calls me, it can be Snoop Dogg from LA, right? Like everybody had their own little video. Yeah. So boom, we pop it out, and it's doing good. It's making money. We're young. If I'm 21, Ricky's probably 18 going to 19, So I'm like, hey, I said, you want to get in? And he's like, oh, yeah, what do you want? I said, buy a computer. And then we didn't even have a computer. I said, just buy a computer and just help me. He's like, all right. So, boom, that's how he got in. And then
a used computer, though. So it was a used iMac, like $600.
Yeah. So then, boom, we're in. We're working.
Shit, $600 for a fucking 18, 19-year-old. That's a lot of money to be dropping on
that. That was all my money.
Fuck yeah.
So, boom, we go from there. And then that app ends up becoming obsolete because Android started controlling. Google wanted to know who's calling you, when they're calling you, so they didn't want no one else to interfere with that screen, and they started basically obsoleting our app because now our code couldn't pop up in front of the screen.
Yeah, we got away with it a few more times. Like we put our code for the video to come out above your screen call, right? So we got away with it for maybe like another few months, but then Google did change their whole software and their interface, and they just blocked anything to be interfere with their call because our video will come out and a banner. So that's how we're making money.
Let me dig in real quick for those listening who I'm always talking business. You guys, I'm always fucking bothering you guys about business moves and ideas. Apps are a great thing. They can do a lot, but they can also cost a lot, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Back then, I don't know what the fuck they were costing because you guys are talking about a more, I don't want to say primitive time, but just a time where it was just blowing up, like you said, the screens and everything. How much did it cost roughly? Even though it varies, but to make an app.
I just remember, so the way it started, I've always been, I don't know why, but I always see opportunity when no one else sees it, right? So I remember one time I found a dog, a Dalmatian dog. And I said, I'm going to grab him, I'm going to shower him, bathe him,
And sell them. My dog.
Right? So boom, I got them ready, and then it was my
in the corner though, like right across the
right
street
in the
from our
corner
house.
of the street. So what happened was I learned two really great lessons. Right, I learned about what did I say? I learned how I made money from nothing. Right, like it's possible.
Right.
Some people were like, oh, you can never do that.
Right.
And then I learned how you get those people that take advantage. Like there's always gonna be people trying to, be close to you to take advantage. Mm-hmm. So I was probably like 12, 13 years old. So I found the dog, boom, boom, boom. And my neighbor, he was like 18. So I put the dog. He's like, hey, what are you doing? Boom. And when I sold the dog, he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna go half, right? But I'm young. I'm 12, 13 years old. I'm like, oh yeah, here's your cut, right? So I learned.
What did he do?
He didn't do anything, right? It was
just hanging around,
Just hanging around. He was older, He just took
okay.
advantage of the situation.
Okay.
So I learned really quick, like, okay,
what's his name? Fuck him.
I forget. Kike.
Fuck you, Kike.
And then he was our boy's older brother. So our friend, his name was Juanito, and
he was our age, right? So
Yeah.
the older brother was just
kind of like took advantage, like, oh shit, this nigga just made, he made $100. So I sold the Dalmatian or whatever. He came up, and it was a valuable lesson. So I've always been like that, like. Boom, I learned how to unlock iPhones. I used to charge people like $400 or $500 to unlock your iPhone. When it first happened, you couldn't put an AT&T iPhone on T-Mobile. I would jailbreak it, unlock it, and charge you $400, $500. So that's how I was making my little money. Or you would come.
So you were a little natural born hustler without even slinging dope or nothing. You just saw the
even making. So this is a time when ringtones was huge too, not video, but just having a different. Like a song, because ringtones are what, $1.99 or 99 cents.
Yeah, right.
So we're doing packages like get 5 ringtones for like $2 or something, and we have all the songs from like LimeWire. They're already cut in 30 seconds. So we have programs that will drive the music to your phone, and then now you have the ringtone there without ever paying for it. Yeah. So we're cutting deal. We're like really getting inside these phones software wise, and trying to make money out of it.
So this is dope though, but this is very brotherly though.
Yeah.
From the first app to, hey Rick, go get a computer, to what you're talking about now, the ringtones. You guys were, and I love this. Not trying to get all mushy about it, but that's great that brothers can be like that and be like, yo, if I'm gonna do it with anybody, I'm gonna do, I'd rather do it with my family. Because at that young, you're not mature enough to think like that. Most of the time, you think you need to go outside of that.
Yeah, and I think
you're not supposed to mix it with family. Technically, you're not.
What really helped was, we didn't know nothing about business, but what really helped was me and Reed used to play ball together. So we lived right.
As in basketball, right?
Basketball. Yeah. So remember I told you there's 3 camps. So we live right next to Redland Camp. So me and Rick would jump the gate and go play basketball at Redland Camp.
Hours a day.
2 or 3 hours. But we're playing with older people, and at the end of the day, it's hood. So like, here's these kids from the other side coming into the hood. So we can't be in there coming in there like, oh, what's up, guys? No, it's like, what's up? Like, we want to play.
Yeah.
So I think that's how we got a great relationship and chemistry, because we go from playing basketball 15, 16, 17. 18, and then it just moved over to the
little business side, right?
The business world.
Okay, so then where did it become?
So I'm always working, hustling, doing these little things, making money here and there. So my brother Jose, he goes ITT. He learns about software and all that at ITT Tech. I don't know if you remember ITT.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. They're not around anymore, right?
Are they not? They
went out of business.
I think they went out of business.
Man, but they were rocking big for a long time, especially here. I think they were in Fort Lottie though, weren't they?
Yeah, they had like 2 or 3 campuses.
Okay, yeah.
So he went there. He graduated. He comes down from Orlando. He's like, man, I want to do an app. He didn't have an idea. He just said, I want to do an app. So I had my little money saved up. I said, oh well, here I have $2,000. Like, let's hire somebody. I didn't know what it was gonna cost or anything. He's like, yeah, but what should we do? I said, let's do a video ringtone maker. So boom, he finds somebody because he knows the game, he knows the language. He hires somebody in Orlando.
He knew exactly what we needed to start. Right?
Correct.
Because of the ITT
the
that
type
time.
of engineer that we need, software engineer, the type of coder, the type of graphic designer, all that.
So boom, I'm basically the money man. I'm his younger brother fronting the money. Mm-hmm. So I'm sending him 1,000, 2,000, just to keep the thing going. So boom, the app comes out. Now there's money coming in from the app. And that's how we ended up starting, right?
Oh, no, this wasn't My Mixtape at the time.
No, this
No,
is
this-
Ringtone
this is
Maker.
before.
This is the ringtone,
This is
okay.
the hustle day. So we gotta tell this story.
And how long did the ringtone one? What was it called?
Video Ringtone Maker.
Video ringtone maker. Okay, so how long was that successful for? Is it still going or no? It's
No,
it's
it
It lasts
obsolete.
like a year, right?
Probably like 2 years.
Yeah.
Like 2 years where it was generating revenue and, it made some money and we were really working on it, thinking this was the idea. This was it. This
Right.
was going to get us out.
Like imagine how much was making, like maybe $2,000
I mean, like
month?
2-3 grand, maybe
day
a
or
good-
month?
No, a month.
Yeah, so that was good money. Like we'll split
Fuck
it 3
yeah.
ways. But this is the hustle part. This is how you know that we got it in us. So from that time to the My Mixtapes time, me and Danny learned how to code somewhat, right? So we learned how to make wallpapers, right? For Androids, which was huge because they will move, remember? They're like moving wallpapers. This is in 2009. The iPhones are barely doing it now, right? So we learned how to code wallpapers. We've always been big into sports, so we learned how to do widgets. So we did scoreboards for every NFL team, every NBA team, every soccer team. Anything we could think, like, because we learned the code and we made it into cookie kind of code, right? Cookie cutter code. So I would take time, like, hey, Dan, I'm going to do all the AFC teams, right? And I'll sit there and I'll change, the picture to the Dolphins or whatever team it was, right? Change the name.
By the way, Dolphins are balling right now.
Yes,
Keep going.
sir. And then Danny will take over on that one computer, and then he'll do.
We'll take turns sharing
Yeah,
the
he'll do
computer.
the other team, and then when we get to soccer, he'll do all the soccer teams. So we started making apps, right, and putting them up for free, and just putting banners, and one app will make $3, right? The other one will make $5. The other one will hit $20, right? And then this is where the hustler side came out, which is super funny. So the live wallpapers was huge, right? And what we started doing, we would go on YouTube and we'll search like girl dancing on a pole, right? And we will compress that video. You will cut that video into maybe 5 seconds, right? And we'll use different programs to compress it. And what that does, it makes it into a picture, right? So it will make a 15-second like looping video into maybe 2,000 pictures, right? Like in motion. And then we will put that on the on the Google Play Store, and boom, people will be downloading it. We'll put it for 99 cents. People will be buying it because they want some girl dancing.
Of course, yeah.
Right. So once
Sex sells. I don't give a fuck what it is. Yeah.
So when we saw that, I'm like, oh shit,
We onto something.
We onto something. We just started looking for everything. Like you're talking
But
about.
it couldn't be like porn or
Yeah,
naked.
like
it had to
anything,
be-
any girl shaking her ass or dancing, boom. And then cars, like the GTR was brand new, so we went and we'll get a video that GTR would do a promo video for the new car, and we'll cut it up. And then we're doing everything that you can think of, and they're selling 99 cents, a dollar. And we started like just messing with the price, $10, and it was selling.
And then what exact year was this?
This had to be 2010, right?
Yeah, around 2010.
Yeah, I was just out of high
2010.
school, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of the Black Sheep Perspective. I just want to take a quick moment to thank you guys, man. You guys rock. You really do. We've made it this far. We're in season 2 right now. I got a great line of guests coming up. There's been a lot of modifications and moderations to what we've been doing and working on, and it's just getting better and better. And a lot of it's because of you guys and the feedback that I get, the emails, the messages, the comments. Thank you so much. Please keep them coming. Please spread the word, and we look forward to giving you many, many more podcasts. Big shout out to my close friend Gus from Arancibia Bonds. This brother right here has been helping people get out of bad situations quick, fast, and in a hurry. We've all experienced it, or at least know someone close who has had some kind of mishap occur to them that landed them in jail unexpectedly. And with the craziness going on in our world today, with the continuous changes of rules and regulations, why not have one of the most reliable bondsmen in the state of Florida on your side? Feel free to reach out to my brother Gus from Arancibia Bondsman. Now let's get back to the podcast. That's not even
This is 2010. 2-3 years out of high school. Me and Danny were 1 year apart from in high school, right? So, what we're doing is making money. But what gets interesting is that we started putting that kind of hustle to it, that street mentality behind it. So once these live wallpapers started getting like super popular, we were always like in the top 100 listing, right? And we started putting more videos of girls dancing on poles, shaking ass, twerking, right, doing all this stuff. We didn't have any rights to it. You know, it's whatever we found on YouTube. We'll clip it, compress it, put it up.
None of that came back to haunt you, right?
Nah. So, but we started selling it for $9.99, and people like will buy it, and we couldn't believe it. So we made a whole new account. We started separating everything, right? We always had a little business in us, right? So we had a business for the live scores, the widgets, right? And we had one for the wallpaper, and we always had one for the video ringtone, right? So the wallpaper was his own. It was under our cousin Hugo, right? Juice. So shout out Juice. We put it under his name. And he worked at AC, or, you know, he was doing, I don't know if he was at a hotel, working at a gas station, something, right? He always had a job. So we put it under his name. We used his Gmail to make the account, right? And these wallpapers were flying, making hundreds of bucks a day, right? From video that we got so efficient, we'll make these videos in like 2-3 minutes because we're using the same code. All we're doing was changing the pictures inside, right? And then now uploading on the store was super fast. So once we did that, people were emailing Hugo's Gmail thinking he was that person that was shaking their ass, and try to like talk to him, ask for their number, tell them they'll send them more money on the side. It was so funny.
Yo, and I want to introduce Hugo because there's a reason behind the whole Hugo thing. Do me a favor, Rick. That camera, I must have shifted it the wrong way when yeah, can you turn it? There we go. Thank you, brother.
In the center?
Yeah, right. No, that's good. Right there. Perfect. Thank you. So Hugo, when you spell Hugo, the proper, I guess, American way would be what? Hugo. So if you would say that in Spanish, if you would say Hugo, you would say Hugo. And Hugo is juice.
Yeah.
Hence where Hugo got his nickname Juice. So I met Juice. I met Cuzzo, and he's fucking great, and he's hilarious, and you guys are just too fun to be around, all you motherfuckers. You know, you remind me of me and my brother and our best friends, and it's just a shit talking, you know, cracking jokes affair.
Yeah.
But Juice has been with you guys since the beginning.
A long time.
You know, and I know as we get more into the depths of the story, Juice is still there, and that's dope because as we get into the story,
so we're cousins.
Yeah, that's right, and you guys are cousins. But as we do get deeper into the story, we're gonna realize that even those that, you know, have been around and got complacent and things, you know, things happen, unfortunately, and even when they're really close, and I don't think they were family though, right?
They weren't family.
But we'll get there. So okay, so continue on.
Yeah,
so
Dan could take over from here, but Hugo's our cousin. You know, we're raised from we're little. We're in the same baby cribs. You know, the struggle, all the same things, right? But he always lived in Orlando.
Oh,
and,
okay.
He moved, I think 2007 or 8 when I was in high school. My last year in high school, he moved to Homestead, right? And, you know, me and Danny were always playful with him. And when he moved down, it was just like, you know, just a third brother, right?
Yeah. Right.
And we're all the same age. So funny. He's, like you say, he's funny, outgoing. He loves everything we love too. So, but in business, and everyone knows this, and you're going to hear it a million times, you always need that person that is going to be like your right arm, loyalty, trust, hard worker, is not going to question you, is not going to question your motive. And that was him, you know, and we're super grateful for him, and he's still with us to this day. But if it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't even be here, to be honest, you know, because he did help us out a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we're in the video ringtone wallpaper area, right? Era.
Okay.
Before my mixtape. So then I come up with this idea, and this always goes back to when people tell you never give up, never stop, right? So video ringtone's not doing what it was doing, right? And then at the end of the day, we got server costs and we got employee costs. It's probably like 1 or 2 employees, nothing major. And me and Ricky don't have nothing much. We're living at my parents. We don't even have a car. Like,
Yeah, no car.
you know, we're probably driving my dad's beater, or he's letting us borrow his car, which is, you know, on his last leg.
What's a beater?
A beater, like just
A shitty whip. Just
broken glass.
we got a school. We got a school of people listening, man. They're gonna be like
so
a beater. What the hell is that? A white beater? Is he a
No,
beater? Did
like,
he beat his
you know,
meat? What the hell's a beater?
No, like, so, you know, we say beater as like this is the
You don't want no one to see you in these type of cars.
yeah. You know, so,
You know, like,
Remember we were talking about where words derive from, and that was something that I like to find out.
yeah.
Where do you think beater derives from? Like, how does
I
how,
think it started with the sneakers. Like, these my beaters. Like, I'm gonna rock these. These are
So
So
my
I beat him up. I beat him up.
Yeah, play ball and
So this is the car that I'll beat up. I'm not, you know.
like, it's already beat up. It's just, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna take this car to the fields.
All right. Well, if you guys listening, if you want, man, you can look that up and comment and challenge me, Danny. I don't know what to argue about it, but I'd love to find out if there's something deeper to it that I don't know about. Please let us know. But all right, continue on.
So boom, this is the wallpaper, video ringtone. So things start getting a little tight. You know, like Google and them are taking us down because Ricky's doing these little things.
Crazy wallpapers.
They're taking down the accounts, and then we don't have no. We're doing this without no legal advice. You know what I'm saying? So we're probably doing things not the correct way, correctly. We're putting things up without licensing.
Obviously, back then it was a little bit looser. We're talking about 10 years ago.
Correct.
Nowadays, you know, motherfucker will come at you quick as shit. You know?
Down in
there's a system that acknowledges, hey, this is not your material.
Just like YouTube. Right?
Yeah.
So, you know, we're there. We're just, things are getting tight. So I come up with this idea. So at the time, we're working out of an office right here on 120th. Shout out to John, Icon Construction.
John Ingram. Shout out John Ingram. No, not John Ingram. Yeah, never mind.
John, but I know he has the Icon Construction Company.
Okay.
So we didn't know him, but my brother knew him because of the real estate he used to do.
Okay.
So they were cool. He let us have the second floor of his office. So we used to work out of there for free. Like, we didn't even pay him rent. And I came up with this idea.
We'll just show him money when we
had some.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, we'll still.
Oh,
you will?
Cool.
I thought. But do you still talk to him, or do you nothing? No,
we haven't ran into.
He wasn't a friend of ours. He was a friend of mine.
Yeah, remember?
Find him and send him a random gift. Shit.
Remember, me and Ricky were 2021. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was an older dude.
Okay.
So we were working out of there, and we had hired this guy from. So it went from Orlando to Miami. We're doing the coding in Miami now. We hired this kid named Ivan from Cuba. He came in second place in the hackathon of the whole world. Right?
There's a hackathon?
Yeah, in the world, like coding, hackathon.
Okay.
Yeah. So this kid came in second place in the hackathon in Mexico, right? It was a world tournament. He came in second place, but he ran away. He escaped the team in Cuba and Mexico, his Cuban team in Mexico, and he ran away. And
so he did it on purpose. He had a plan to get the fuck out of Cuba, and then once they were in Mexico doing the competition,
run away,
and he got
gangster.
Boom, he crossed the border. He had a family in Miami. They brought him there. We found him, brought him on board. You know, he's charging. He's not killing us, $15 an hour. So we're doing what we can. So I come up with this idea. I said, man, all these mixtapes, I need to download them. I don't know if you remember how you used to move the music on from your computer to your iPhone.
Yeah.
You had to download it,
Very dope, yeah.
upload it into iTunes, right? Connect your iTunes to your phone and transfer it over.
Okay.
Right? You had to do that for any music that you wanted to transfer over that wasn't being bought through your phone. And you couldn't buy this music. This is all mixtape underground music. So you couldn't even if you wanted to buy it, you couldn't buy it on your phone. I said, man, what if we create an app where you could just stream this music that no one can find? So I came up with the idea. I told Ray, Ray's like, yeah, it's a good idea. So I didn't tell my other brother because they're not going to.
Which one, Juan or Jose?
I didn't tell Juan. Okay. At this time, Jose's no longer. This is after the wallpaper, Jose decided to go a different route.
Okay.
So I'm like, nah, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to tell him because I'm the little brother. He's not going to, this kid's crazy.
So our older brother was what, like 29, 30?
Yeah, he's 29-year-old, 30-year-old. You know.
We're 19, 20.
Yeah, you know, he's getting more into that grown folk shit.
Yeah, he did real estate. He made a lot of money in the real estate.
He might have not want to, you know, I'm not saying he got complacent, but he might have not want to journey into keep gambling, keep taking chances, keep struggling for a bigger picture. Hey, I'm pretty good. You know, I support you young brothers, but I'm good.
Yeah. So he was a part of the video ringtone, though.
Right, I know that.
So and I was getting a little shaky. He's in Brazil, making some moves in Brazil.
Oh, I see. Now I know where this is going to connect. I didn't know that's where the Brazil connection comes.
Yeah,
because I know we're going to get there, but I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, he has a great friend named Adair, and he's like, "Hey, let's go to Brazil. I got these opportunities."
It's a horrible name. Please repeat that name.
Adair.
Oh my God.
Brazilian name.
How do you spell that shit, bro?
We call him Junior,
yeah.
AKA the champ. So
okay, that works more than Adair.
Junior's super fast,
super funny too. Like bro, this guy will have you rolling all day.
Brasileño.
Brazilian.
Yeah,
but he was here 20 years con los cubanos, all the Cubans. So
bueno, so
he's half Cuban.
Okay.
So imagine.
So boom, we're right there. So I go to Ivan. Ivan finds a friend that's coming from Cuba. Super dope programmer.
Also escape, right?
Escape. I don't know
too,
how he escaped, but he's an A. This guy arrives in a week. I said, bro, $10 an hour, tell him to pull up. So you gotta remember when they get here, they get their, they get food stamps, they get help. But they can't show that they're making money, right? Like
of course.
They gotta. So I'm like, I'll pay them cash, $10 an hour. So I'm using my own money to create this new app, right? I'm not going to my brother Juan, and I'm just putting whatever. I'm selling my shoes, at the time.
Let me pause you real quick. Excuse me. What are you guessing at this point? Because by now you already did the video one,
Correct.
So you got a decent amount of experience. You kind of know what you're getting into, even though obviously you're always going to get better and better and better. But you know what you're looking at. How long was the expectation of this goal of, hey, I got this idea for the mixtape. You guys agreed on it. You're going to do it.
He gave us a timeline. Ivan said, I think like 6 weeks or a month.
He said like
to complete the app.
He said, look, because
So it's basically him and his buddy working on it.
Yeah, but not during the hours of the other app that we have video ringtones. He had to come on the weekend.
Oh, so video thing was still going on. I thought that shut down.
It was just
already.
a little tight. No.
Okay.
But
the
Danny
wallpaper
had him
and all
agree. Danny had him agree. Like, look, only work on it outside of the other hours. So that's why we were able to work on it, but really slow. And he would use a lot of the code from the other app too. So on the weekend, right, or after work. Yeah.
So whatever we already had coding, he can use it. He just had to create. But it was two of them too. So it was like now a little fact you got two people working at the same time. So I'm paying them, this is 10 years ago. So if you had some Space Jams, they're worth $500 at this time. You had these type of shoes. You had the 13s, the Jordan. You can sell them for $350. You get them for $180. So I have all these shoes that I bought when things were okay, and I'm selling them. Boom, boom, boom. I had a little Rolex at the time. Like, I pawned it. I had a gold Cuban link. Everybody wants that Cuban link.
Excited. Oh, Danny was flashing like that, Ricky. I didn't know he was like that. I see the bling right now,
but I was a young and I just, I had my little jewelry. So, but I'm selling everything, whatever I could, whatever.
Right. To level up.
To level up.
That's what's up.
I'm putting the money, I'm giving it to Ivan, and then the other guy named
Jose. Shout out Jose Lago. His name was Cuban.
Okay.
Both of them were Cuban.
Yeah, so.
They're not with you guys no more?
No, because remember, everything, we really built this so from
right.
the ground.
Eventually, they got better and moved on to get bigger money somewhere.
I don't even think they stayed on the coding side. They got like a phone support job, Because
obviously, bro, they're coming from Cuba. They're not thinking, we're gonna go big. They're just trying to make money, survive.
But shout out to both of them. Like they really put you could tell they put their hard work in there. They could have cheated us. Like we're 19 years old. They're like 30 years old or older.
Yeah.
They could have been like gave us anything. This is the app.
It's gonna take 5 months to code it.
So they're real honest and hard working, and we really appreciate what they do.
That's awesome. That's fucking awesome. Okay.
So boom, and they're doing the app and. It gets to I say the last week, and I'm tapped out.
Yeah, no more money.
No more. My parents. My dad. He hurt his back, so he doesn't have a job. They whatever they got is for them to feed.
And when this is another time, if people forget, this is after the recession, so things were real tight. You're talking about 2010.
I forgot
2008. The recession was bad, so. It wasn't just us that was hurting; it was the whole world.
Yeah,
right. Like everyone was hurting. You couldn't get a job if you wanted to, really.
Yeah,
right. So, we're tapped out, and that's when we had to go to Big Bro.
So I called Juan, and I'm like, "Hey, I started this app. It's 90% done. I just, I need to hire these guys one more weekend. It's gonna cost like $700 to pay both of the guys, and they're gonna be able to finish the app."
Yep. I think he was in Brazil, right?
He was in Brazil.
Yeah.
He's like, "All right, I'm a money order or something. I'll send it to you guys." So he sends it. And
at this point, are we talking about Jose or Juan?
Juan. Jose's no longer in the picture. Remember?
Right? Yeah. I know. But that's why I thought you might have reached out to him. But now, what was Juan doing at the time?
He was part of the
video
ringtone maker, and then he had just got out of the real estate business.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he just, he was doing other things. He wasn't video ringtone wasn't his only objective. He had other things going on.
Okay.
He went to Brazil to just see if there's any opportunities out there because supposedly it was starting to boom and grow. Yeah. So he sends me the money. We hire the guys. Hey, boom, boom, next weekend. it was, our weekend was pretty cool. Like, you got to understand, we're doing at the time where people are partying, 21, 20 years old on the beat. We're going to this office on 120th every day on the weekends, waking up at 8 in the morning, meeting up with the programmers, and we're just there working with them. Even though we're not programming.
Taking our own lunch, making our own sandwiches.
Bro, but you guys understand, and obviously there's other variables, but I think the bulk of the reason that you guys are doing that was because you grew up seeing your old man.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Do what he did, and your moms, and you saw it, dog. Even though it doesn't.
Like, all our friends just had a job already. You could have went to discount auto parts or
right,
already get paid $10, $12,
Yeah.
And we skipped that. And for the people that are watching, listening, like, it was hard. And they're not gonna lie. Not because of the grind and all the shit, but explaining to your parents, like, I had to explain to my mom why I didn't have a job.
Right.
Like, she doesn't understand. Even to this day, she doesn't understand what we do because
for real.
Because it's a phone, it's technology, right?
Yeah, and that's not something that
she was thinking, or maybe she thought, like, oh, these guys are just going to an office to play video games.
My mom even one time said, oh, you
guys selling drugs.
You're a bum.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Why? Because we're waking up, kind of on some days we will. This is after the app started, so I will get there.
Yeah.
But, while we're programming the app, we're waking up early because that's what time the programmers are getting. We got to open up the office.
9 a.m. around there.
We're getting there, having our coffee with the guys, and we're just, grinding it out. But like Ricky says, I think at that time it was hard for me because, okay, you couldn't do the going out. You don't have money to have a girl. Real hard because they want to go out for dinner.
Of course,
they want to hang out. They want to go to this place.
This is facts time.
This is right after high school, so everyone still wants to see each other, right? All your friends from high school.
Yeah, hanging out. Let's go with por allá and all that. So that shit was, to me, it was hard. But it's like you said, like like we saw one thing: grind.
What a great example for anybody. Obviously, knowing, hey. This can apply to a 40-year-old, 50-year-old, anybody trying to be an entrepreneur. Yeah. That it comes at you got to sacrifice, and that might mean, hey, you might have $50,000 to $100,000 to invest into your your goal, but you gotta be willing to not
work it.
Yeah, not throw away money here, not party this, not you got to understand how much dedication comes to this.
Correct.
And for you guys to have made that decision and that sacrifice so young, it's very inspiring to young people. Now, obviously, it comes with ridicule. It comes with misunderstandings from parents, and they don't share that passion. They don't know enough about that time.
Friends like, oh, you're done.
What are you doing? Everybody's got an app. Really, on the app, you're gonna make a fucking app, shit like that. So, for people listening, that means a lot, man. Tough. I think that's dope. Yeah, it really is. It really is, man.
More on the parent side, just because we're very close. Just like how we're close with our parents. So, everyone wake up at the same time, and my parents will stay home because there's no job. My dad had his back all hurt, and we'll go, looking nice to the office and come back looking nice. They're not used to that, right? Now when you're either picking or you're in the construction, you come back.
Right.
And no money. So we're coming back, but we're going to work every day, but there's no money coming in.
Yeah.
Right. No, you guys seem like you're full of shit. Of course. Without a doubt, who wouldn't think that? I was going to say.
How would you explain it, though? Like, how would I explain to my mom how we built my mixtapes, or like what kind of music it is, Because they don't even know what hip hop is.
You're literally talking about a historical education session. Like, you would have to tell your mom, okay, look, Mom. This is how people in the United States make money when it comes to hip hop. This is how they used to do it. You'd have to bring her through the whole process. And even then, she might not understand it enough to, where do you make money, son?
I don't think anyone will understand it because streaming wasn't even popular then.
It didn't exist yet.
People were still buying CDs. So we were like riding the forefront.
Yeah, man.
So people were like, this kid's crazy. Like, I remember one time we wrote.
Hence your success. That's what's up.
Yeah, we sent an email to some investor. He said, "Oh, I think people are gonna be buying CDs, and I don't know what."
Yeah,
we're like, "Oh, okay, yeah." You think that's gonna? Now that's just irrelevant. Obsolete. Like nobody buys CDs.
Right.
So where we're at, Rick? Where you
going to work tight?
So you big bro gave you the loan.
Yeah.
And then
no, he basically
was a partner.
That was.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. He said he's all right, cool.
You see, one thing about me, I never been a dude like, it's just me. even if I came up with the idea or if I fronted 90% of the money, like, because I know that I need Rick for some and I need Big Bro, you know, even though we bump heads, all three of us, we need each other. Yeah. So even if but the reason why I did it without asking was because I didn't want him to stop the idea. So it was like, listen, it's 90% done. You know what I'm saying? So if it's like, hey, coach, I got this fighter.
You gave him a disclaimer.
Yeah, hey, coach, I got this fighter. He's going to fight in a month, contract signed, everything. You want to train him? He already been trained over here. You might be like, oh, everything's done. All right, I'll come in. He wants to do the weight cut with you or something, right? So it was something like that. Like, hey, Juan, this is 90% done. We just need to pay these guys one more week, and we're 100% done.
And he was still, you know, on the young side, right, obviously. So he understood the hip-hop side because he grew up on that too. So it wasn't hard for us to explain to him the idea or anything. You know, he got it right away. Danny told him it was 90% done. And I don't know if $700 was a lot to him at the time or it wasn't, but, you know, he sent it right away, which was what we needed to finish the app, the idea, you know.
So then it was. So you get the money, he becomes a partner. You guys pay the guys.
No paperwork, no nothing. He just sent me the money.
Of course, right.
We didn't even talk about that. We were like, oh, you're my partner. It's just he sent the money. And okay. So boom, we released that. We released it October 11th.
August.
No, October.
I wrote August down.
Okay. Oh, August, October. It's somewhere. We launch it. The first day, 10,000 downloads, a server crashes.
So hold on, August of 10?
2011.
11, so it is a year later.
Yeah.
Okay. And boom.
App crashes, server crashes, 10,000. My brother's like, what the fuck?
And remember,
it's a great, horrible position to be in.
Yeah, so like for people that don't know or aren't in the app world, you will make an account, right, on Google.
Okay.
And you'll make it a developer account, right? And this obviously lets you upload apps, right? So it's just like YouTube now, right? You'll put the picture, the icon, you'll put a description, title, tags, screenshots, videos. And that's what we did. We came up with the name My Mixtape. We just put it up, you know, not knowing what it was going to become. And we just put upload. Went to sleep, woke up the next day, wasn't working.
Yeah.
You know?
They're like, yo, you got over 10,000 downloads.
In one night?
Then the next day, another 10,000.
Or just, yeah.
And
so what? Every time it crashed, somebody had to go do something.
The programmers, they got to keep making the server bigger because
it costs more money.
Which again is a good problem to have.
It's a good problem, but you don't have money.
Ooh. And
this is 60
days.
Big
bro.
Yeah. And
Big bro.
I don't think we're even making money off of it because we didn't even know how to make
money off of downloads. Yeah.
Or just the app. And I think we just had like one banner. Right, which is crazy.
But I would imagine you guys at that point from second to third day. First day should have been a great sign, but from second to third day, you're at 20, 30, 40,000 downloads. It keeps crashing.
Yeah.
You guys knew you were on to something.
Yeah. I mean, it gives you the fuel to keep going, right?
Right, of course.
Because if we would have launched it and nothing happened.
Yeah. And then who came up with the logo? How many times did the logo change? Because I fucking redid the studio at least 3 times, which I love where it's at right now.
We did. So this is a funny part here. So
okay,
the video ringtones was always done on his own, right? The colors was picked, the UI, the logo. So what me and Danny did to cut cost when we were making My Mixtapes was, all right, use every button, everything that we have off video ringtones and put it on My Mixtape. So the app was originally blue and black, just like the other app. And we hired like some designer. Silos, you know, he'll come on the weekend or I think just one Saturday. And he just made a logo right in front of us, right? And then
the one that's still there now.
He made this is like 3 icons or logos.
Oh, okay.
But all the buttons, it was so funny. The app was just looked what it was, like not cheap, but like you could tell like it was a grind because the buttons were different. We used buttons from the other app that had no reason to be on the My Mixtape. Yeah. It'll be there. It was kind of offset a little bit. Like one button was bigger than the other one. But it was there and it worked.
Yeah.
And that's what matters. So, like, we changed the logo a few times, though, like with CeeLo, the same guy.
Is CeeLo the original, the final logo?
No. So this is where Big Bro being in Brazil happens. So the app is starting to do good. Big Bro starts finding, because remember Ivan and
the 2 Cubans.
Jose, they end up like, hey, we found different positions.
Third Cuban too. Don't forget Gabriel, no? His name?
I don't remember him.
So it was a third one that escaped, right? But this is already towards the end of our time here on 120th. He escaped. Ivan found a job, right, at 9 to 5. And then Jose was already, applying for another job. And he comes to Dan. He's like, hey, I got one friend escaping, like, next week. He'll be here next week. And he's even better than all of us.
What?
He's like, he's the best. Like, he's won everything. And can you interview him? And Dan's like, all right, come. And I'll never forget, we're sitting there. He comes with all his awards, all his accolades, like, rolled up from Havana. They all study at Havana in Cuba.
Right.
And Danny goes, I don't need to see none of that. Can you work on this? And the guy's like, yeah. He goes, all right. And he looked kind of sad, like he wanted to unroll it.
Yeah.
Shows his diploma and all this. And
of course.
So he took over towards the end on the server part.
Silly question. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Did any of them come with any kind of English, or this is no
Spanish?
No.
Okay, well, I'm not sure if most countries. I don't know why Cuba is not one of them, but a lot of countries, it's almost if you ain't speaking your language, you should be learning English. That's what
they say they know Spanish because that happened to us in Brazil. We go to Brazil and I know English and maybe okay. Yeah. Oh wait.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about somebody who was like they went through classes.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know why Cuba wouldn't be teaching English as a secondary language. Like that needs to be like if you're not doing everything in Spanish. Okay, you know how over here most of us, if you're not doing your regular core classes in high school, you take a language class, and it's 99% of the times it's Spanish.
Yeah.
Why? Because that's the majority of our continent. And literally South America, North America. So I don't know why if Cuba is part of the Caribbean or the Costa Ricans. I'm half Costa Rican. They all, take English classes if they intend on, going that route with the education. So it's always taught. So I don't know why they don't.
I think they give up something for something else because
probably,
they were like.
Or the regime,
like
the regime might have been like, "Fuck those gringos," and I don't want nobody here, Fidel and all that. Y'all ain't learning no English. Fuck them. Y'all gonna do Spanish, and that's it. So,
and just be good at it because I could put money on it that. They were the type of engineer they could go to Google, they can go to Apple and get a job, probably be head engineer,
100%.
Right.
That's how good they were.
Oh.
And they happened is again a blessing like that they came one after the other. So like if the two would have left, right, and that third one didn't escape and come over here, then we would have been fucked because the server kept crashing. Like it was just too many people on it. And and then again, they were great people. Like he didn't have to tell him come over here or get a job.
Yeah.
But we were good too. Like we would feed them. We would talk to them, give them advice. They have questions. They just got here. Yeah. We're like, no, do this, do that.
So while they're doing their thing, you guys are still reaching and trying to be ready to expand. And now your brother in Brazil,
he's starting to make connections and starting to realize, hey, we can build the stuff here for a lot cheaper in Brazil. Yeah. Right, instead of paying $15 an hour or $10 an hour, we're paying $5 an hour. Right.
So we thought.
So here's one thing that Ricky forgot. Even when Ivan went and got that job, he was still coming back on the weekends to help.
Like one day
he'll come on the weekend because they want to make money. They starting to save up. They have families back in Cuba, so I'll be like, hey, come on Saturday, come on Sunday.
$100, we'll give them the cash.
150, 120. But now the app is starting to pick up, so it's worth it. So that's one thing that I want to get into when we're like getting to that moment. Like either you're gonna quit or you're gonna go to the next level.
What's up, folks? Thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of the Black Sheep Perspective, Season 2, baby. If this happens to be your first time watching or listening, please take a quick second to hit that subscribe button and tap that notification bell so that you don't miss another episode. And once again, guys, really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, everyone out there, for all the amazing support. And a big shout out to my man Hector and his entire team over there at Driver Shop USA. If you guys follow me on IG or live in this beautiful city of Miami, you'll be able to catch the dope-ass wrap job that was done to my Chevy Colorado truck. Not only did they wrap the entire truck to protect its original paint job, they then slapped on multiple high-quality logo wraps on all sides, so that I can remind those of you who are looking to tune in to the best new podcast. From boats to motorcycles to automobiles of all kinds, Driver Shop USA is continuously redefining luxury. Now let's get back to the podcast. Okay, so obviously you're saving money choosing to try to go to Brazil. That never worried you that, like you have this, the Cuban that you can't remember his name, you got this awesome,
I just remember his name. So
what was his name?
Cut it out. Where's the cameras? His name's Shara Uzniel. Usniel.
Okay,
With
you
a
gotta
Osniel.
Usniel.
There you go.
He was the third and final
Can you believe-
coder that we had.
Cubanazo.
Juanazo,
Can you
genius.
believe? Can you, and not to take
Amazing
the light off of Usnad, because obviously he's a big reason why you guys got to where you got, but how some of these Cubans would name their kids Usnavi. Usnavi. So people who don't know, who don't understand Spanish, Usnavi, if you try to spell that in English, take out the double O's. It's not double O's. It's a U, it's a S, it's an N, it's an A, it's a V, it's a Y. Usnavi, U.S. Navy. These Cubans were looking at American words and they were just translating it into their own versions, and they were naming people, bro. Anyhow, I'm sure there's a lot of
Shout out to
Mexican
them
shit there.
three.
Yeah, there you
Ivan,
go.
Jose, and Usniel.
Usniel.
Those three guys were beast right there.
That's what's up, man.
Love
Hope,
those guys.
And honest.
And
That's
honest
what
working,
counted.
yeah.
Like because in this coding world, somebody will come be like, hey,
150 an hour.
150 an hour. It's gonna take me 10 hours. Oh no, we
With
have
a project they
bugs.
can do for less. And,
They could do it in less hours, but they'll be the 10 hours come up, and then they'll be like, oh no, it didn't work. We're having crashes. I need another 10 hours and another 10.
Yeah.
We wouldn't we wouldn't have been the success we are without everything happening the way that it happened, right? Us running into those type of coders, my brother going to Brazil and building now a team out there. So everything happened, I guess for a reason, and it went in our favor, right? But yeah, shout out those three guys.
I know where we're at.
So, but go ahead.
We're at the point of either we're gonna keep going or we're gonna
Break.
give up. It was, I think it was one of our breaking points early on, because we had these guys, right? We had server costs. So the way in this app world it works, right? Google pays you every 60 days. So whatever you generate today, you don't see it in 60 days.
So
Right.
December's pay will be out in February.
So we don't have no backing. We don't have no investor. This is all bootstrap. From
Month
the
to month, week to week,
Yeah.
day to day type.
We don't have no jobs. We don't have nothing. We don't have no rich friends, no rich cousins, anything. So I remember at one incident, this is what I wanted to bring up. Juice Man. The server was due probably like, I don't know, $8,000, $7,000, something small. It wasn't that much, or probably less.
I think it was like $2,000. I want to say,
something like $2,000.
which is back then is what 20 grand is like. Feels
10 years
now
ago.
because it was a lot of money. Again, we're 19, 20 years old, and
So servers we're tapped out. Big bro don't got it. We ain't got it.
Yeah.
We're all trying to see who we can call. So I'm calling my friends, that. So before we started this whole app thing, I always been a grinder. I always figure things out, hustle, anything. Even if, a little bit on the left side or a little bit on the right, I always figure things out. Never got involved in the, in the drug business or anything like that. But I was just a hustler. What I'm saying? This guy might have phones for sale. I'll buy them and sell them over here. So I had people around me that I would, help or put on and help them a lot, make a lot of money. And that's how I was able to, to start the company and invest. And when we were down at this instant, like at this point where we needed to pay the server, I'm calling these people that I helped. But we were young. It wasn't that I helped them to become millionaires, but it was like, hey, remember last year you were making $5,000 a week, 19 years old, 18 years old. And I'm calling them, hey, you got it. Everyone's giving me oh, no, I ain't got it. And one thing I really learned, when someone wants to help you, they're not going to tell you, I ain't got it. They're going to say, I only have this. Right? So if you call me, hey, Danny, hey, I don't have that connection, but I have this. I don't know that, but I could tell you about this,
Right.
or I can maybe point you in that direction, right? I'll give you something that maybe can help you, but I won't say, nah, coach, I ain't got it, right? And that's what we're getting. I ain't got it. And that's, I think me and Ricky learned early on that people aren't going to always be in your favor or try to help you, even no matter how much you help them or what position you put them in.
Yeah.
So I called Juice. Juice used to work at AC. Used to make decent money. He was single, no kids, hey, cuz, this is going on, the server. He pulled up, gave me the money.
No
And
questions asked.
that helped us continue to be able to get our first, paycheck from Google. Because all this thing is going on, but we haven't seen any money yet.
Yeah.
Because we got to wait for the 60 days.
Yep.
So Juice gives us the money. Boom, we pay the server, and we keep trucking. But
They
now
saved another month.
But then now we get the little first payment from Google. I don't know, $3,000, $4,000. Now we could pay the server here. Cause here's $500 that we owe you. We're gonna keep paying you. Next month becomes $5,000. So that's how we, we're able to roll it. At the same time, Juan is trying to figure out how he can make the whole Brazil situation work. So that's why I told you it was either gonna make us or break us. Because if you go, all these people already had told us no, we can't go to our parents. We ain't got no family. My dad don't have brothers or sisters in the States. My mom family, they're all over the place. I mean, which Hugo is from my mom's side. So it was really Jews that came through.
So I think a good takeaway from that portion of the story is that even if you make it big, even if you got the best idea, even if everything's going well, sometimes it could be something so random as far as like the most unforeseen loyalty behind a cousin, like Juice.
Yeah.
Or even getting paid like net 60 is what they call it. So that's how everyone works now, but it was new to us, right? Like, where do you see, you don't go anywhere and do a job and they pay you in 60 days. Like, that was unheard of.
Right.
So they're like, no, you get paid in 60 days. So we didn't know that you see the money every day. You log in. Oh shit, I made $100. I made 200. All right, it's Friday. Okay, it's been a month and you don't know where the money's coming, but your bank info's in there. You were checking every day to make sure that everything's right, all the info, and we find out it's a net 60. So you're not going to get paid for 2 months.
And the server people want their money.
Yeah,
right.
We don't know you. We're not going to give you net 60 to pay this.
So Juice put the fucking cape on and
came through,
and that's fucking dope. Shout out to Juice. And so now you guys are back on track. Meantime, Juan's been working on these Brazil connections, and then boom,
So remember, we still got video ringtone, but video ringtone is not booming like before. It's like, it's all right. And then we had started doing video ringtone for iOS. So, we wanted to finish that. We wanted to know how it was going to react on an iPhone. So Juan finds programmers, him and Adair, and they start. So they're in Brazil building this. Me and Ricky build My Mixtapes in here on 120th. And, we're going. Video ringtone Android starts, like I said, it was slowing down. It wasn't making the money it was used to. And then we created iOS. But at the same time, My Mixtapes keeps growing, right? And I think this is where one of our first fights, I would say, or arguments with Juan, I'm telling him, hey, we need to do this. Like, we need to create a My Mixtapes for iOS. And he's really like, nah, we got to do video ringtone for iOS, And I'm more like, no.
Which would have never worked because
it didn't work. We did launch it.
Yeah, so Apple is the most secured, and they make sure everything's on lock, so you can never manipulate anything on the phone, right?
Right.
So on Android, it was an open source, so you were able to put the video in front of the call ring, for however it lasted. Apple was never going to happen, right? Even to this day, they don't let you mess with any of that stuff. So for people to grab the video ringtone, they needed to jailbreak their phone, which was pretty big back then.
Right.
I remember it had a lot of issues. Like, everyone that jailbroke it, either their battery would die quick, or crash, or break your phone, right? It'll make it into actual brick. Like, you wouldn't be able to do anything. You had to finally go to Apple. So what Danny was saying, we got in an argument with Juan because he wanted to do it for the jailbreak store, which, is not going to work. Like, the amount of people that jailbreak their phones, even to this day, is probably like, you can say in the low 5%, 10%, right, of the whole iOS. So, we have something that's working. My mixtape is blowing up, right, on Android. No promotion. It's like a snowball phase. One day it's 10,000, the next day was 15,000 downloads, the next day 20. Like, we're just seeing this growth, and you can't argue against numbers, right?
Right.
Like, you see, this is becoming a success. Like, why turn your back on it? And, we did get into an argument till we finally convinced them to, like, concentrate on My Mixtapes. I don't know if it's because maybe music's our passion and it wasn't to him at that time, but, we finally was able to persuade him and change his mind. But
so he put in that extra gear at Brazil.
Yeah, because the way we had structured everything, he was in charge of the the development, and then me and Ricky were more on the marketing side, like reaching out to artists, the content side, making sure the music is up on the app, you know, and that aspect of the structure of the company at the time. So, you know, we're telling him we need the guys to do this, and then we don't really know about the development. You know, he's been there, he's been working with the guys, he's learning more, he's learning the words, you know, he's learning how to explain to these guys. So finally, after a year, I think my mixtape is stable. It's making decent money, right? And we're making decent salaries. And that's when we take our first trip to Brazil, and now we're more involved in the development and growing the company. Yep. So I don't know if maybe I skipped a lot in that year, but I think that was like one of the hardest one. It was
because in between taking our operation to Brazil, the 3 people that we had here, they ended up finding 9-to-5 jobs, so they stepped away, right, to something more secure with insurance and all this stuff. So it was gonna end at some point, right? We weren't gonna be able to work with them anymore because we weren't gonna ever able to match their salary with whatever job they had, right? So we had the only other option was Brazil. Juan was there already. The developers were there that he groomed and got working on the app. So it was a lot of struggle in between though, because we're living actually month to month, right? Like we needed to find the money to pay for the server because that was the most expensive cost, right? And I mean, we just got down and dirty. Like it was every day me, Danny, and Hugo, right, driving to the office in his car. Like we didn't have a car.
Did you guys live there for a minute?
Where?
At Brazil or no?
Yeah, once we started going there, we would go since we didn't have a lot of money, we were making decent, to buy food and move around. Yeah. We would take one monthly trip. So we rented an apartment for us 3, and we would live there, for a month. So we would go
months at a time,
and we'll stay there for a whole month, and then we'll fly back to Miami, be here for a couple weeks, and handle some business, and then go back.
So let's fast forward a little bit so we can kind of give people a more of an update of what the app entails and how it is that it grows and has grown to the size that it is. So first off, when do you guys think you hit that next level of like, all right, we're not just on to something, we're there to hit it. Like, yes, you guys were talking
what
about
year? I want to say like
no, I won't even say what year. The fact that you had so many downloads going on a daily basis, I don't care if it was 5 to 10, that's amazing. So I would imagine once you hit a certain number, it's like, all right, not that we made it, but we're here. We hit a big number, and we need to keep fueling this machine. And this is going to take us to next level, because I know there's a lot of next levels to talk about.
So you're saying, when do you feel like we knew My Mixtape was the one?
Yeah, man.
I think when
was it a certain amount of downloads? Was it an offer? Was it a deal?
I think when we were getting the recognition from the artists, like we would see major artists like, oh, My Mixtape,
go get it on My Mixtape.
Meek Mill, like I think Meek Mill was one of the first major artists that had like a big buzz, and he was like supporting us. And then here's one thing that we learned real early, and we never been scared of. And I don't know if you ever been around people that they want a lot of things for free, or they want that blessing to come for free. Mm-hmm. And we always been like, how much? Fuck that shit. Because at the end of the day, it's business, right? So like we went to Meek Mill, like, you fuck with us. I know you fuck with us, right? Yeah. How much to tweet it, Instagram it, and Facebook it? Oh, I want 10 grand. All right, here you go. At the time, it's a lot of money.
That was all the money we had.
That's everything we have in the account that My Mixtape, generated or was left over. Yeah. But now, guess what? Now everybody around him, Rick Ross, DJ Khaled, they're like, oh shit, who's My Mixtape? You know what I'm saying? All the young kids are like, oh, My Mixtape.
And sending downloads to the app, which was huge. Like, I know he shared the app. He shared his app on his Instagram, right? That was part of the deal. And the first time he did, I think we shot at like 100,000 downloads, like
in one day.
Like, that's the influence that he had, and it was Instagram when it was, real basic looking. So it was just your feed, right?
Right.
And it was just a picture of his mixtape that was already out like for 2 months, right? Yeah. It was out for like 2 months. So he just posted it and it's like, hey, go download it over here.
So a good lesson there is, you know, you got to be willing to make those investments. You got to be willing to
Bet on yourself.
Yeah, and obviously, do it wisely. You know, you guys chose Meek Mills when he was.
But it was on a shady end, so like we didn't go directly through Meek Mill. We went through a manager, semi-manager. So we giving him the 10 grand. He could have just
Cash.
Right,
Yeah, he
right.
could have ran away.
Cash.
Yeah. So we didn't know if it was real until
Yeah.
you know the
And
artist.
then I remember the deal, he was supposed to share it 3 times, and I think he only did it twice.
Yeah.
So we never got the third, but it was worth it. You know?
Right. And
Then I ended up meeting his real manager. I won't say his name on the podcast because it's real, like, to him it's normal, but I don't like to say his name because to me it's a little racist. But that's just the way his name is. But his Philly is part of the name, so we'll call him Phil.
Okay.
But I ended up meeting Phil, right? And we became cool and, you know what I'm saying, real tight. And then we started running the business through him. And to this day, we have a great relationship, business relationship. We work with him all the time. Yeah. So then we ended up getting his first interview when he got out of jail. But it's the same thing when My Mixtape decided to start doing interviews. I didn't go around like, hey, do you guys want to do this interview for free? So one thing that we've learned and I've learned is that people are always followers. It's very few that are leaders, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you find that one person that people look up to, and you just, you give them a deal that they can't refuse. Here's 10 grand for an interview, and they take that. I guarantee you, everybody around them, when you reach out, even they're not gonna know that you paid him.
Right.
Oh, me Mill did that interview. Yeah, we need to go do that. My Mixtape interview.
Thing, yep.
So I think when me Mill started like really rocking with us, we started really like, oh shit, we're on the map. You know, and there was just other little things financially that we started like,
seeing.
Ricky got his car and
finally.
Talking about the Lambo?
Nah.
Oh.
M4.
M3.
M3?
Yeah,
Okay.
M3.
Back then.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Before the M4, was the motor
2011, 2012, something like that. It was a used M3. So.
Yeah. So all right. So let's. So the money's coming in now.
Yeah.
My mixtape, my mixtape's
the name
doing
is starting
good.
to hold weight in the hip hop community.
Okay, and it's just really quick, so if you can say it, broadly, what exactly? How is somebody going to use the My Mixtape app, that launch pad? What is it? What is the
As
approach?
An artist?
Yeah, as an artist or even as a fan, but
okay, so
I mean, we're just a platform now. Back then we were just an app, right? That was the platform alone. But now we're like across our brand is big in everything, social media. We have the apps. And now I think we've networked with a lot of people that can help an artist out, right? Either from just making a connection or using their studio to now, in 2019 we did a festival. So we're all over the place now, right? Like we've broadened our platform. But back then you would just be an artist and you would love to be on the app, right? And you would love to have the front page placement, which is like
because
huge.
of all the users we have.
But don't they still want to do that? I know you guys are doing way more, but as an artist, they still want to reach out to My Mixtape. If they haven't hit it and they're trying to get their face out,
they
their
want
music
us,
out there.
like they want our stamp.
And this is not me trying to just fucking promote you guys.
No,
It's not a
so,
selfish plug. This is like dead ass. Like I know you barely have competition. I know there's like one other app
where
or
the business
whatever.
came. So like remember, we're still young and we're learning like business 101, right? Because we didn't go to college like that. We went straight to high school, came out, and maybe did like a year in college, and we were already working on our own idea. So we skipped a lot of like business 101 that we didn't know at the time. So if you're a cool artist or I liked you, I'll do it for free, right? Nowadays, like you can pay for it. That's paid promotion. That's a campaign, right?
Sign
that
a
we do a
distribution
label.
deal.
Yeah, we can sign the artist. So back then was just I'll bless you, or if you're cool with me or whatever, we'll meet up. You will have that front page placement. You will have an Instagram post from us. And later down the road, as we matured and learned more business, like damn, us being cool with him and doing that made him a millionaire.
Right.
Because there'll be artists that will do that for, and he'll go get signed the next day for $1 million, $2 million. He'll never talk to us again. You know,
Cold-blooded.
because we will bless them with that support,
Right.
You know, us putting them on the front page.
But now you guys see a way deeper, and it's not shady, even though we know it's shady.
Yeah.
Not you guys, but the business world when it
Yeah.
comes to this shit, especially the hip hop world and all that nonsense.
Nah,
But
fuck that.
but you guys now see that everything has to it doesn't have to come at a price, but you're approaching it more from a business
Yeah,
perspective.
back then was, remember, just ads. We're making money off ads, right?
And we're young kids that we're just doing something fun,
Right.
that we love,
Right.
Like just because we're making money, we're still putting in hours. Like, you know,
Not
from the
sleep.
morning,
Yeah.
we'll probably. I remember my schedule being 1 hour, maybe an hour and a half, where I wasn't on my computer, and that was that was us going to the park to play ball, at, you know, the POW or Robbie George down in Florida City, and then go back home on my computer. I'm looking at music, contacting Ricky's on the. We're watching the game, but we're really still.
Like, that was really our life. Like, for maybe a good 4, 5, 6 years was like just uploading music, uploading content onto the server for the app, talking to artists, like reaching out, or they will reach out to us at a certain point. But it was all day from the time we woke up. You know, I started waking up a little bit later because our night would be longer. So maybe 11 a.m. all the way to like 2, 3 a.m., right?
And that's when the artists are up.
Of course,
So
that's
we'll
what
be
they.
up all day uploading music, talking to artists. You know, artists usually used to send us just the music, like one by one, a track. So putting it together, right, and renaming it, like doing things like that, which was all new to us. But that was our life for a good 4 or 5 years, just straight grind, morning to night on the computer. The only time we would take a break was to play basketball, or watch the Dolphins, like watch the football games. That's it.
But we'll still have that computer next to us, close by.
So this obviously took you guys to eventually another level, but this other level was you guys realizing that to get there and finalize it and stamp it and then set the step for the next level, for whatever reason, because I know most people wouldn't want to believe it, you had to leave Miami.
Yeah.
And we don't have to break that down. You can go fucking look it up on YouTube if you want to, but basically, when you're involved in this music industry, especially when it comes to rap and so on and so forth, and then when you connect that to big companies and you're talking about big deals and movies and all that, you have two big hubs. And we're not talking about like New York or Chicago, who was the birth of hip hop. We're not talking about Miami because we got, booty popping and bitches and clubs and all that. We're talking about music to make money. Your hub is Atlanta
And LA.
and LA.
Yeah.
And you guys saw that, you realized it, you were coached up on it a little bit.
Yeah, we were already traveling a lot to Atlanta,
Back
at
and
least
forth.
once a month. We'll
Right.
go out there for 2-3 days.
So this was when I was first meeting you guys.
Yeah.
I bet
Before.
you guys right before you started traveling back and forth there. You were traveling already when I met
Oh,
you?
we're traveling to Brazil. Like, that's more.
Yes,
But
exactly.
the Atlanta thing was like 2015, right?
Yeah, like
15, 16.
yeah, we were doing the.
I think
like,
I was out of
2
jail at that time.
2 to 3 days. We were doing like 2 to 3 days Atlanta, nothing major. Maybe 2 days, like 2 days, Monday, Tuesday.
Weekend, yeah.
We would go out there, move around, mingle a little
That
bit.
and that's another. I know you asked, like, when did you know that we were like kind of big?
Yeah.
Was those trips to Atlanta. Every time we would go, it was red carpet everywhere we went with any artist. So you're talking about going to the studios with Migos. They will go crazy. Meeting up with managers or labels or independent label, right? Red carpet, come out, eat on us, and we never go out, but they will offer that to us, right? And get our number, get this, and they'll reach out and help us, and that's when I knew, okay, My Mixtapes has the power to change their make a career, not just change their lives, but like make them an artist for real.
So around this time, how many downloads did you have, roughly?
Probably
2015.
3 million.
On the app.
I want to say way more. Because I remember I made a video.
That's fucking ginormous.
I remember I made a
bro.
video, I don't know, like 2014, 15, that said 10 million. So I want to say
Wow.
like over 10 million in 2014, 15.
So where so many people can get complacent and just ride that thing out and then just stay hooked on the app and maybe all app. You guys saw more. Like you said, Danny, you've always had this knack for entrepreneurship and hustling and making moves and having these ideas that other people didn't think about. And obviously this is rubbed off on you, Ricky, and it flows within the fucking Duenas, bloodline.
Yep.
So Juan goes to LA. On his own or for the company?
For the company.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's there first.
Now he's full My Mixtape 100%.
Right.
My Mixtape, yeah.
Eventually, you commit to Atlanta.
Well, the whole plan was for all three of us to go to LA, right? I always loved music, right? From the ground zero, and that's why I came up with the idea. And I saw something else in my, like I said, I always see things when people don't really see it. And I'm like, we're all in LA, because we know you can get out of touch quick.
Easy.
I'm like, who's gonna? So this was gonna be the real structure. Us three to LA with our lawyer Hector. The rest of the team, the content, the social media, the documentary, Atlanta. So I'm like, we're all in LA. Who's driving the boat? Who's controlling the soldiers? And I was like, hey, I'm not going to LA. I'm going to Atlanta. We got our little arguments. My brother, no, you're crazy. What you gonna do? I'm not going over there. So I'm not asking you to move over there.
Right.
So I went to Atlanta, and to me, and we're both gonna have our opinions of which move was the best or whatever. But I think they were both the best.
Right.
Yeah, both of them had to be made.
I feel like we covered ground, right? Like, especially like he said early on on the interview, like me and him make the decisions kind of nine out of 10 times, right? Same. So me going to LA, him in Atlanta is like having me in Atlanta too, or him.
Yeah, we don't bullshit. We
Right.
don't overcommit. We don't overpromise. We don't. We people are not gonna say those guys are bullshit. You were never from me or Rick. So I'm in Atlanta moving around. And then I started another company, which is the label side, the independent label.
So you realize that, okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, part of the whole My Mixtape thing is you see these artists who are, they want to pay you guys or however the whole shit works.
Yeah.
They want to put their music on your mixtape, your app. Certain people, not to dumb down or be undermining any other artist, but certain artists you guys look at and you're like, damn. This one's got something special.
Yeah.
I want to put that extra effort into them. Yeah. And then you again, I'm saying this loosely, you sign them, not like a record, because you're not a record label, but you sign them under your management, and then you help do whatever it is you got to do to take them to the next tier.
Correct.
Which would be a record label, a major label, things of that nature. And then obviously you would be in more in a managerial perspective at that point, in regards to just managing them. But the record label is going to do this and that. So now you're doing this more, and as you're doing that more, I'm assuming you realize the potential there, and then you decided to do your own label.
We had got a deal with Warner to do the label, right? But because I love it so much, I went like,
ham.
Ricky and Juan are more on the chill side. They like it, but I was getting dirty with it. I'm in the studio. I'm at the video shoots. I'm doing, and then they're like, "Why are you doing that? You're crazy. Like, that's not what we signed up for. We're supposed to be executives."
So our not our deal, but our mentality with the deal, our perspective on it was like, whatever's popping on the app, just sign that, right? And Danny was like, "No, I want to find the nitty gritty. Like, find an artist that and he's not even on the app yet." You get me? Like that type of artist, but he maybe has a following on social media, because social media has a lot to do with your career now. Like, it's 95% of it, right? So Danny wanted to find the nitty gritty.
What's up, folks? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Black Sheep Perspective, Season 2. If this happens to be your first time watching or listening, please take a quick second to hit that subscribe button and tap that notification bell so that you don't miss another episode. Once again, thank you everyone out there for all the support. Speaking of the nitty gritty.
Yeah, so that was Danny's idea. Like, he wanted to get an artist, really incubate them in the app, like give them the front page, push them through social media, connect studio, maybe put some money in their pocket and grow them from,
Zero.
just pure talent.
The thing is, Coach Wes, I think building My Mixtapes from zero has made me realize we're not going to get that fairy tale. I don't believe in no fairy tale. So I don't believe I'm gonna find an artist and he's just gonna be the next Michael Jackson. I just don't. Like, I don't think
You shouldn't believe like that.
I don't believe in that. So I was just like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not. Like, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna build it because I know what it took to build my mixtape.
Exactly.
So when I was starting to build this, I was like, no, I gotta get dirty. I couldn't let my success stop me or mess me up from building this new company, you know, from the ground. Because I had the money, I had the fame, you know, not the fame, but the power, the recognition to be calling in favors. But I was like, nah, this just not gonna work because I know it works. It's like when you train for a fight and you won, you know what you need, and you're about to do a big fight. It's like, I need to train like I train here.
Right.
This is I need to go train in Vegas or whatever.
I know I can go to this dope ass gym, air conditioning, and train with amazing fighters who are known, but I got here by sweating my balls off in that little fucking Ricky Dick, you know, Joe's goddamn boxing corner.
Exactly.
I get it. I definitely get it. So
that's the only like dispute that we had in between each other. Like,
at that point, you and Juan weren't looking at it like that.
No. Yeah, I stayed in Miami. Juan went to LA. More always on the tech side, so looking for these partnerships for the app. Danny's idea was, you know, he could take care of that. I believe the same thing, and then now he can kind of dedicate some time to the artist, discovering the next artist.
But I'm still handling the soldiers for my mixtapes.
Yep.
So I'm doing two things. I'm literally working in the morning at the office with the guys, and then coming home, eating dinner, spending some time with my son, and then going to the studio for 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
Right. Ricky took a whole year off, coach.
You mentioned that earlier.
Yeah. So
off cam.
I did not take a year off. I still had a lease here.
Yeah,
bro. This kid was in Live and Tootsie's getting shoulder.
No.
Nah, because he never invited me. We were training our asses off.
That's what we were doing.
Yeah, look, this kid was working out, eating clean, and just hanging out.
Yo, listen, every time I started training him long enough where he was looking good, he'd fucking take off to Atlanta for 2 weeks, Brazil for 3, LA for 1.
Coach. All right,
he's like, Coach, business is good. I gotta go here. I gotta go there. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? We were just doing great.
So like, all this whole story brings us to we're finally, you know, living good, like having cushion. Like I can finally go to the store, buy pretty much whatever I wanted. I could go eat wherever all the fancy restaurants I wanted. Danny too, he was there right next to me the whole time. I was able to sign up at a good gym, the USC gym, and hire a trainer.
And still want a penny pinch with me. Still want to negotiate every time we had to do another package, bro.
So, I didn't take a year off. I was just enjoying our work, and what we did.
And you were still active, obviously. You just weren't on the.
But look, I made up for time lost in LA now. You see?
Let me tell you something, man. First of all, I always knew you guys were doing good once I got the gist of the story. This was obviously, years ago. And, getting little bits and pieces. And I remember I was training. I remember Juan came down from LA that time, and we all trained together for like a week or whatever. Yeah. Obviously, I was very attached to Juice. He was fun and awesome. He's a motherfucker. He's a clown. But speaking of, and I know we'll get back to the whole gist of the business. I know that you guys hit another level when you guys I remember, and we don't have to talk the details, but I remember you guys were going to sign a huge deal with somebody Korean. It was a Korean business or Japanese?
The Korean company.
Korean company. They were going to buy, it was like some $1.something million deal for like 10%. Like, woo, it was just, and that's when I was like, wait a minute. Somebody's going to pay you how much for what percentage? If they want to do that, I'm like, motherfucker, I watch Shark Tank every week. I'm like 10 seasons in. That means your company's worth this. Like, I was like, yo, my boys are really, they're really doing good. Yeah. But y'all don't flaunt it like that at all. Y'all are so humble. And then Ricky called me one day and said, Coach,
I'm gone.
Are you busy right now? I was like, no, I got a break. Why? What's up? I'm gonna pull up right now. I was like, all right, but I was like, no, shut up. I want you to jump in my new car. I got the Lambo, Coach. I got the Lambo. I go, what? All right, well, how far away from you? On this Lambo, I'll be there in 6 minutes. So I don't think he's full of shit. I really don't, you know, because I know you guys are 100% legit. But I'm like, I really didn't think he was gonna go through with the whole Lambo thing because
Yeah.
at the time you had the
M6,
that
the BMW.
the BMW. I was gonna say the Audi, and he picks me up in this fucking super bright. What color was
It's
it?
a white car and it's a McLaren.
It was not white.
Yeah, it's white with peanut butter, but
Yeah.
like a pearl white. It shines.
Yeah.
Damn, it was white. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Pearly
That's
white.
me. I smoked too much weed.
Yeah.
Um,
And yeah, I picked you up. We spun the block.
Bro, I got in that shit. First of all, I don't care what anybody says. It's scary. It's uncomfortable. Fuck that. I want a truck.
Little.
But I got to sit in the McLaren, which I thought it was a Lambo. And Ricky goes out to the main street. We're talking about 88th Street. For those of you who are from Miami, that's Kendall Drive. There's never a moment in Kendall Drive, never a moment unless it's like 4 a.m, that you have an open strip to just fucking and then fucking hit 60, 80. It's not a highway. It's one of the most, it's just so congested. Ricky pulls out right there out of the fucking plaza that the gym is at. And from, I don't know, dude, it had to be maybe 3 football fields. I don't even think so. I'm not sure. This man said, watch how fast this thing goes. Dog, there's traffic everywhere. And that man still managed to hit 65 like in less than 2.5 seconds. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun. Okay, it wasn't fun.
For you, for me, it was good.
It wasn't fun because it's Miami and these motherfuckers drive like idiots and everybody's on their phone. And it wasn't about I don't trust Ricky driving this, this car and how fast it is. He was going so fast and you feel the whiplash, you feel the fucking like you're on a goddamn roller coaster, your soul just is left behind. And I'm just imagining any one of these abuelos, come pingas, whoever would just fucking and here he is, and we're dead because we're so low to the ground. That shit is not known for like extra protection, like
No.
yeah, like one of these
It's
F1.
like a paper.
Yeah,
You're in a
dog,
paper.
yeah. Poor Paul Walker, and those things are not protected to survive. So yeah, I shitted, and I was like, all right, Rick, all right, man, yeah, that's great, man.
Take me back.
That was awesome, dude. I got a client coming in. Can you please take me back, bro? I'm happy for your success. Anyhow, so on that note, though, you guys are obviously doing good. Life's a little bit better.
Yeah.
We don't need to gloat about your riches because you guys aren't like that. But what I do want to know, and I think fans out there like to hear this type of stuff. What was like little unforeseen reminders, not fanboy moments, but where you came across somebody, you met somebody that took you to this restaurant, to this house, you were sitting here minding your business at a damn restaurant, and here comes this awesome soup. I don't know. What were some moments where it was like, yo, that was Fulano who we just did this with, who we just
For me,
went
it was
to.
never, to be honest, it was never really in Florida or Miami. Just because those type of people that we need to be around in the music entertainment aren't out here really, right? So out here was more like just shopping, eating, right? Going to these stores, buying like, what was the trend, the Yeezys or the nice shirts or whatever. I didn't start seeing that side till I really got to LA, which was after Juan and Danny moved, right? So I was living here in Florida, but just, my parents down the street. But once I got out there, I was next to a bunch of people like Ice Cube, his son, really good friends, playing ball at his house, going to his studio. That was a fun moment. Becoming friends with Chris Jordan, who you met.
Dope ass, the
super
agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, real cool cat.
Which is great, like a great friendship that we have because there's no, like, he knows I don't need anything from him and he doesn't need nothing from me, right? So like we just became friends and and he just brings me around the people that he works with a lot, right? Or represents, right? So we're, going to Coachella, getting backstage passes to wherever we wanted to go. I was able to see any artists I wanted, hang out with them. And meeting other people that are on our same level, which is what I like, meeting people around my age that are also a success and grind it out, however they did it, and becoming friends with them, which is hard because when you're in LA, you guys just kind of do business and that's it, right? It's just like a mutual friendship. I know him, just a name drop.
Is that a weird thing that's pretty common over there? I know
yeah,
you're more in LA
like
than Atlanta.
It's more like a name drop, like I know Ricky. Like,
well, I know. I mean, like more. Is it a little? am I using the term rightly? Is it superficial? It's not fake, not fake. Everybody fakes it to make it. I mean, like, are people cold hearted where it's like, I'm not really trying to vibe with you. I'm just trying to see where your connections are.
I mean, it's hard for
Does that
me
make sense?
'cause
Does that
it
make
does,
sense?
It does,
Okay,
100%.
okay.
And
I
I
don't-
think for other people it is, but I don't know if it's just a lot of people get along with me that like,
Look
for
at that
example,
face.
I mean, look, just for example, like, so me and Chris will go out somewhere and he'll introduce me to, a friend of his, and then I'll become friends with that person. Like, I wouldn't need Chris to be around them and to hang out. Like, they will hit me up on their own, and that's how friendship grows, right?
Right.
And it became like that. So I started, he introduced me to Cube's son, Daryl, and, we just started hitting it off. Like, he'll invite me to play basketball, right? Numerous times, or just go to the studio, listen to his artists, or play video games, right? I don't know if they're like that towards other people, but with me, like, it's just a friendship. But Alex is another friend that he introduced me to, the same thing, we'll kick it, watch TV, watch the finals together, eat pizza, talk about cars, go out, whatever, like.
These are real well connected people, like
exactly.
top executives
that don't, they'll ask me a question here and there, and I'll ask them, about certain stuff, either in music or real estate, right? But they just pretty much want to hang out. They really see me as a friend. I see them as a friend, and it's mutual, and they know they can bring me around whoever, and I'm not gonna freak out, right?
Yeah.
So,
Right.
They invited me to houses, $35 million houses, and we're on the backyard chilling and playing football, or
That's what's up.
going
Wow.
fantasy draft,
Right.
or even invited me to their fantasy teams,
League.
Their league.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was able to join two of them. Right, one is a $60,000 jackpot,
What's the buy-in?
$5K.
Fuck out of here.
But,
Goddamn.
But I'm in second place, so
Whoa, that's this season?
yeah.
Is that because you got the Dolphins on your team?
No, that's because I got a bunch of everybody. I did some real good moves there. Cole.
Yeah.
I did some good
Are
drafting.
you playing fantasy then?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Low key league.
Yeah.
Can't say much.
Oh shit, this guy,
Yeah.
black market ass fucking black market fantasy football. Danny, so in Atlanta, obviously, and it's not that it can't go that way because there's plenty of stars of all levels that live in Atlanta. But you're obviously more on the ground, like you said. You're more on the ground. You're here, overlooking the staff that's over there that's doing the groundwork, meeting the talent, the artists, a lot of them rappers. Going out. I remember I used to be like, yo, why you got to go out with them at 3 a.m? Why do you got to do that? Why can't you just?
I mean, I try to.
It was more
separate-
juice in people back then. But I'm pretty sure he calmed down with that.
Yeah,
right?
he calmed down. You
Yeah.
know, he-
But that is part of the line of work. It's not to get
Correct,
so
correct.
involved, but to build that bond
just-
of like, yo,
and the thing is, if you're not willing to get your hands dirty,
yeah, man.
you're gonna miss out.
Yeah.
You're gonna miss out. So like me in Atlanta, I'm more. So here's how the music industry works. You have New York, L.A. That's the business in the music. Atlanta is where the music's created, right? So this is where you're gonna meet the manager, the artist, the labels, the engineers, all that. LA and New York is where they cut the check, right? So that's why Ricky says we pretty much have cover both grounds, right? And then my other brother there, our lawyers there. So Atlanta, I'm more like, okay, if I want to go talk to the dude that runs quality control, I can go meet with him, Or if I want to go meet with the guy that runs TIG, I can go call Fly. Or there might be another independent label, another art, or even if they're not from Atlanta, they're in Atlanta. Every major artist in the hip hop community has a house in Atlanta.
They moved there.
And a lot of this stuff is that that's why we're able to go get the exclusives, go get an interview, because we're there, And then you have the employees. You want to meet with them. You want to have conversations and tell them what's going on, ask them how they feeling, what they think, and so that's more where I'm at. Obviously, like I said, the artists are there. So I might run into Lil Baby at a concert. What's up? He remembers me, say what up, keep it moving. Or I might run into 6'4", the manager to Adrian Broner and Gervonta. We have a relationship for over 6 years. We used to sponsor AB. Now he's Gervonta's manager.
So being this involved, and I know that obviously you guys, when you guys share everything in regards to if we sign somebody, if you're trying to produce anybody, whatever that is, that falls under your whole umbrella of the Duenas. But you're a little bit more hands-on in Atlanta. There's a lot more, dare I say, bullshit going on in Atlanta versus LA.
Correct.
You're in the industry, you get deeper and deeper from the connections and all that, and then you start realizing also, goddamn, these rappers just don't know how to fuck to pull out of certain situations. They don't know when to say no. They stay tied, this and that. It seems like a really not weird but difficult spot to be in. And prime example can be like, and I've never heard of him until you guys, King Von. Who the rapper who just died? He was up and coming. He was looked upon as going to be one of those next big superstars on that tip.
Correct.
Not my music, not all that, but whatever. I'm 43 years old. Who the fuck am I? But you guys are involved in that. And this guy just he gets murked over a fight that becomes a shootout that involves the cops and opposing rapper, opposing gang, opposing whatever. You told me some stories. You guys told me some stories. Matter of fact, you actually told me a story. We don't need to name drop anybody, but one of your rappers, one of your signed artists was involved in, and it wasn't even his fault per se, but he was involved in a shootout.
No. It was his fault. They were trying to kill him.
Well, I'm saying you're right, but I'm saying he didn't do anything.
No. Yeah, they were looking for him.
Right. Yeah. Of course. He's he's the only reason they were doing that. But so somehow opposing gang members or whatever this group knew that he was in this rental, this whatever. This is just how serious it is. Now, obviously, you're always, both of you, all of you are getting reality checks when it comes to whether you meet the right person or you see some shady shit or you get offered something you didn't think or this guy gets a drive-by put on him.
Correct.
So there's a drive-by that happened not too long ago on one of your artists while they were in Atlanta? Savannah, Georgia.
Another city, correct, for sure.
And major drive-by to the extent where they ruled ruled the Escalade totaled.
Yeah. Or like
and we were
shot, I think.
And I mean,
50 shots fired.
50 shots fired. That's a hell of a fucking commitment by somebody else to try to kill somebody else.
Correct.
That's real deal gang shit, almost mafia shit, almost whatever.
Yeah.
When you see that type of shit, Danny and Reiki, and you guys are involved, like, damn, dog. Like, what goes through your head in regards to, hey, can that come my way? Hey, should we be more, like, kind of like Bill Belichick? Should I pick up Antonio Brown when I know he's a loose cannon? And then, boom, what happens? Antonio Brown gets all kind of issues. And then,
coming from Homestead, we've always had to look over our back, right? Because there's gangs, there's crews, you know what I'm saying? There's people, like, and it's just, you always got to, it's hood. It's the hood. It's,
right.
Like, I think at one point it was the most dangerous city in Florida, Homestead, Florida.
Okay.
So I've always had that, who's that? Boom, boom. It's just always been in me. Always. Don't get too close to the car at the light. But we don't do no bad business, right? But we always move very, very, very careful. Like, even when we were on the ground up and coming and we could afford security, okay, let's hire this security so he can move around with it. So, like when I and you know this because I asked you for a favor, we don't book studios where it's,
right,
more than one room, because then you might have the opposition in the other room, or this guy doesn't like this guy.
That's a real reality check of someone who's getting deeper into the music game in regards to having artists and what comes under it, because you guys are trying to go the more entrepreneurial route. I don't want to say corporate route because that sounds
executive.
Yeah.
Executive, right?
Yeah.
Where hey man, you worked your ass off. You shouldn't be dealing with this or doing this.
The thing is, you never know.
Of course,
the studio is supposed to be a safe place, but you just never know. So I just take the precaution of, you know what? Let's just go ahead and book a private studio where it's just a one room. And a lot of executives that already made it, that have had that hit, which I haven't had yet, or we haven't had yet, they're able to afford private studios. They're able to move differently, right? I'm the executive. I'm gonna protect the artist, and most importantly, I'm gonna make sure it's safe for me to come there.
Right.
So if I'm coming to the studio, I might hire 2 security. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Right now, I'll probably hire 1. Security moves around me. He has his AR with him, bulletproof vest. he's gonna get out the car first, make sure there's nobody there. He's gonna walk me to the studio. He's gonna walk me out the studio. He's gonna come outside first, make sure there's nobody.
Yeah.
You know, he's gonna sit on the passenger
So
side.
that's crazy. I love that you're saying all that, and especially in those details, because to anybody listening, you know, I know sometimes I see some of the shit that these. I don't follow, you know, the rap and all that stuff. Like it's got nothing to do with me. But then again, I don't even watch regular TV. I just watch documentaries and YouTube shit or whatever. But anyhow, to people who are into that, I'm sure that they must question the validity behind some of the shit that you see in regards to like, oh, rapper this, or I'm a real gangster, I'm this, I'm that. But then you right now you're really witnessing, damn, this dude hasn't even hit it. He's not even nobody just yet like that. And yet he's got this beef on a level that somebody sprayed 50 fucking bullets into a rental in Savannah, Georgia. That's kind of a big reality check of, you know, the type of, you know.
It's like you know, it's hard. It's like you gotta tread lightly, right?
Yeah, man.
So it could be like he said, it could happen to any artist. Like he could just say something on his own personal Instagram and maybe diss or, you know, say something bad about someone else and it's on. That's it. And next time they're looking for you. Or from what I found out with that artist, he was teasing the opposition through Instagram. Like they're DMing each other, right? I found this out probably 3 weeks before that shooting happened, and I was around him. And I'm like, damn, he's teasing this guy, and he's not even telling us, so I can at least, I'm already looking over my shoulder, but at least I can get away, right?
Right.
And then he shows me his phone, and they're talking about killing each other on Instagram. I'm like, all right, I'm out of here, right? I'm already super careful with you, but you're not even, you're taking it as a joke. Yeah. Like, that's, like, he doesn't care if he dies, you know? I value my life, and we shouldn't even be in this position, but we know, like, because he could be the next, you know, Tupac, and we all make it, you know, so we have to invest our time, and we have to be there because our opinion our opinion matters on the music and, you know, all those other decisions.
And then I think in Atlanta I have real good friends that are very heavy in the streets, and you might not notice it. They'd be very professional, you know, very entrepreneur, but they're very respected in the street. So I grew a lot of friendships with a couple of them. Where be like, come to my studio, private studio, gated, and everybody knows that's the boss's friend. Like, don't fuck with him. You know, that's his friend, like real friend. So, you know, I feel safe there. You know, I can go there. I can bring my artists there, use their studio, and I know nobody's gonna fuck with us because it's private, gated. You know, but still, I'm always cautioned. You know, I'm concealed. I have my license. So, but you just never know. You still got to be.
Yeah, I was actually talking to Rick about that, about having his concealed. I didn't know he had his concealed and everything. I was like, yeah, you need to have that on you at all times.
Yeah.
You know, I wish I could have mine. Obviously, I can't, but I don't know how somebody can. I just had that dispute with I don't know who the fuck was I talking to. I know I was with a group of female friends, and I was like, what the fuck's wrong with you guys? Like, why wouldn't you go do it? Oh, because I can never see myself pulling the trigger on somebody. Well, that's what you train for. You train everything's repetition. You know, you if you train yourself to shoot like this and this and that, yeah, of course. If you shit in your pants the minute somebody attacks you, you might never do everything you trained for. But you have no chance if you've never trained for it. At least train how to hold a gun. Train some extreme measurements. And anyhow, I'm glad that you guys at least, you know, you're not just dependent on security and hey, we're cool, we're good, we're all that.
Oh yeah, like we have so many artists tell us, "Come to the hood, you're good," and I don't want to toot our own horn, but I think me and Rig and my brother always had a good head on our shoulder to see more than what people say. So, you know, you have someone come to my hood, you're good. We'll be like, but you can't even keep your friends alive.
Right.
Didn't your homeboy just get killed there on the street? So we don't believe the hype. Yeah. You know, or we don't go to somebody's hood and disrespect it, or we don't go around with our chest like, oh, if y'all, we're gangsters, we're from Homestead.
Yeah, we don't get involved in any of the politics now.
Right.
And it's, you know, my mixtape is bigger than it is now, and it's not just a platform. Like, it has a powerful brand and voice. So, like, for example, our Instagram has over 1 million followers. Like, me and him could go on there and talk all the shit we want about whoever we don't like or whoever, like, you know, and we don't do it. We stay out of it, you know, and that's helped us a lot and it's benefited us a lot that we keep our opinions to ourselves, obviously.
Excellent.
But we stay out of it. You know, we're more on the executive, like you said.
Right. Which is a great decision. It's kind of like shout out to Joe Rogan. He's always talking about. He tells a lot of his guests. You know, they're all in some shape or form famous and great followings, whoever it is, give or take whatever, 1,000 or millions. And he'll tell them, bro, why do I see you responding to fans?
Yeah.
Fans will irk you on, or fans will talk some shit, and then here you are, like, fuck you and your mother too, and whatever the hell, and I don't believe this, and I'm right, and you're left, and Joe's like, yo, I don't, and some of his closest friends, on his podcast have been like, come on, Joe, you don't look at none of it. He says, look, maybe the first 50.
Yeah.
And I still will never respond. And after the first 50, I look away because come on, man. You're going to entertain the bullshit. You got haters that are just going to hate. You got this, you got that. Like,
you came so far.
You didn't get here by entertaining that bullshit. You didn't. And I guess sometimes, depending on your fame or your riches or whatever next level shit you hit, it gets the best of some people. It really does. And again, you guys had such a great upbringing with your dad and seeing what hard work and not metido en la mierda, be all up in other people's mixes, being humble and all that. It's played a huge role. It's played a huge role on where all of you guys are at.
I tell my dad all the time. I was just telling him, like, man, like, if it wasn't for you, like, I don't know where we would be at. Because he was hard on us, but he just taught us little things that helps me so much now as an entrepreneur, as a father. Like, he always used to tell me, don't be a follower, be a leader. Don't be a follower, be a leader. And that's helped me make decisions in life that's like, I'm not going to follow what everyone's doing. I'm going to just keep my course, it might not show at that moment, but 2 years or a couple months later, be like, damn, I made the right decision. Or like he always like, he didn't take no bullshit from us. Like, it was like, hey, 8 a.m., get up, go clean the yard, go, we're going to build the fence. So we knew what hard work labor was. You know what I'm saying? We're out there. Y'all know what Miami is. It's puro coral.
Yeah.
We're out there in the back. Man. Me and Ricky, 15-year-old, 14-year-old, boom, doing probably like 20 feet of fence.
So people, when Danny just said that, when he says, y'all know what Miami is, if you're not from Miami, even if you're from Miami, if you never fucking dug a hole deep enough, you little silver spoon fed motherfucker, then you don't understand that just a foot and a half, probably deep is maybe 2, with if that. You're not hitting dirt no more. It's all coral rock. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of the Black Sheep Perspective. I just want to take a quick moment to thank you guys, man. You guys rock. You really do. We've made it this far. We're in season 2 right now. I got a great line of guests coming up. There's been a lot of modifications and moderations to what we've been doing and working on, and it's just getting better and better. And a lot of it's because of you guys and the feedback that I get, the emails, the messages, the comments. Thank you so much. Please keep them coming. Please spread the word, and we look forward to giving you many, many more podcasts. Big shout out to my close friend Gus from Arancibia Bonds. This brother right here has been helping people get out of bad situations quick, fast, and in a hurry. We've all experienced it, or at least know someone close who has had some kind of mishap occur to them that landed them in jail unexpectedly. And with the craziness going on in our world today, with the continuous changes of rules and regulations, why not have one of the most reliable bondsmen in the state of Florida on your side? Feel free to reach out to my brother Gus from Arancibia Bondsman. Now let's get back to the podcast. Yeah, so again, like if you guys, okay, so I guess I'm not trying to sound like I'm geographical because I don't know all the fucking details, but over here in Miami, we have a lot of coral rock underneath, like our peninsula, maybe not, I don't know how far north, but our peninsula, and please don't fucking blast on me if I'm wrong. This is what I'm assuming, but our peninsula is very islandish, and we just got a lot of coral rock under us. So when you start digging too deep of a hole, especially on the Miami coast, the east coast of the peninsula, when you go to more towards the west or in the central, it's different. But
like in Orlando, it's like all sand.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even know that if you go that deep.
Yeah, you go to Orlando,
you can dig any kind of hole in 5 seconds.
Yeah. Well, in Miami, you're gonna hit coral rock, and it's so hard. So when Danny
this is what gets me mad. Knowing that what I know now is that we used to do it manually, right, with the pico,
yeah,
pala, right. We'll be there all day. Well, it's like digging.
I've done it,
right?
dog. I've done it so many times.
But knowing that we know now, you can go rent a machine.
Yeah.
$20, and you would have had it done in 5 minutes. But
Not 20, but yeah, for
my
sure.
dad wanted
Yeah.
us like to do
Of course.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it goes to everything he made us do. The roofing, you know, with hammer, with the hammer and nail when you could have got the gun.
Unfortunately, man, that doesn't happen much. Or not like it should nowadays, you know. And I know that makes it sound like we're old, but it's not that. It's just a lot of social media influence, obviously, a lot of technological, you know.
And I think people are not trying to teach their kids like the labor or hard work. You know what I'm saying? And I think you need to let them know. You fuck up and don't listen, you don't do the right thing, you might end up doing this
Forever.
You need to do, you know what I'm saying? You need to pay attention because, I mean, I remember me and Rick going to the Keys to do sheetrock with my dad, like, in the house. You know what I'm saying? Just to,
right.
Make a couple bucks. I used to work at a packing house for 2 days.
Well, you know, even if it's like my brother, my niece, you know, shout out to my niece, Demaya, she's my heart and soul. My brother's an amazing dad, and you know, he's good. He's good. His money's good. Everything's good. You know, house paid off, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But when he does any kind of project, he's frugal, which whatever, that's cool. Good for him. You know, you said that earlier that you are too, and look at the amount of money you got. But that's not a bad thing if you're like, it's not that I can't afford it. I can afford it times 10. Yeah. But I should have the Ghana in me to do it on my own. I'm not some lazy fuck.
Correct.
Let me do it on my own. And guess what? I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna ask my daughter, what's up? You wanna help Dad out?
Yeah.
Come on, let's go. So my niece, she's well off on both sides. And she gets her hands dirty.
Yeah.
And she gets in on whatever grind and so that's one of those things. So it's like
I'm happy to say that we're able to build fences. You know, we did multiple roofing, sheetrock, like
that y'all shared those experiences.
Yeah, we did it together. Hands cut up, you know, blisters, all the whole nine, right?
Cut the yard.
I had a girlfriend one time, not the best example, and whatever. She was young.
Yeah.
And obviously that plays a role, but the example that I'm using is she already turned. This sounds horrible. She just turned 21. I'm gonna get ridiculed for this shit. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'll post this shit anyways. Yo, it blew my mind when I told her. I said, "Hey, babe, I'm gonna be stuck at work all day. I got literally a 10-hour shift. I had 10 clients. You know, I think I might have been training you at that time. I was balling. I was working my ass off. No one was putting in more hours than me.
Starting 6 a.m., right?
All the way to like 9 p.m.
Yeah, I think that was your last time.
Dude, I'm trying to tell you, nobody was doing more hours than me at work because I was about that life, you know. And I told her, I said, hey, do me a favor. I need you to take the truck to the mechanic and just get the tire fixed. Okay. She's like, but I never done that before. I was like, yo, all you gotta do is just pull up on Tire Plus and just say, hey, this tire has a hole in it. I need it. But why don't we just do that tomorrow? I was like, yo, what the fuck? Did you just not hear? I gotta work 10 hours today. I don't get off until this. Tonight's movie night. You want to do movie night with me? Tomorrow I gotta get back up at 5 in the morning. Like, what are you? I need this done. Like, meet me in the middle. Anyhow, long story short, shame her parents who never had her do anything of that or experience that, where she would have been like, okay, I got you. Oh yeah, man.
And car wash.
Man, my dad,
car wash detail.
My dad took me to the whatever plenty of times. You know, I used to sit there with my dad while the mechanic did. She knew nothing, dog. It got worse than that. Everything was reality check. Again, I know I shot myself in the foot. She was a lot younger. Who am I to expect too much more? But still, shame on the parents. Like, yo, what are you doing for your kids?
Yeah.
Bro, I asked her one time to put air in the tire on her own. And she said, I don't know how to do that. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm like, to me, that's mind-blowing. I don't know if you've never even looked at a tire, bicycle tire, whatever. You know it has a little tuito. It has a little fucking, how did that balloon become a balloon? Somebody had to blow air in it, right? Yeah. So how fucking dumb are you? No, not an insult to her, but just how dumb are you? My tire's low. Can you please take it to the gas station and put air on it? Babe, I never done that before. Okay, it's all good, babe. All you got to do is this and this and that. But babe, I'll just wait till you get off of work.
But you know, it shouldn't be an excuse now with YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
that's another
YouTube
thing.
on the fly, pull up to the gas station.
And that was 2 years
output,
ago, so yeah. So it's not like old school.
So
There was
shame
no
on
YouTube.
her times two.
It's times
And
two,
three.
yeah, three. But yeah, man. So, but it's good to see that. At the end of the day, fucking your parents and their hard work ethic, especially your dad and the Mexican culture
huge part of
and that grind, it plays such a big role to where you guys are at now.
Yeah.
Let's super fast forward, guys. I know you're doing more moves. I know that right before COVID came, I remember we were talking about, by then, Danny, and you were been in Atlanta doing good. Rick had already went to California. You guys were going to do a festival.
We did one.
You did one, right? Yeah. I was supposed to be there. Fuck y'all. But you guys did a festival, and this became something new that you wanted to start doing, and it was looking great.
It just became obvious. Like again, it goes back to the brand being a huge platform, and an audience that we can reach out to. So again, being in LA, and shout out Chris again. He introduced me to Johnny Schumann, who's the head of AEG Touring, right? And I'll run into him, multiple times. I'll see him, at dinner or like at an event. Then I went to Coachella the 2 weekends in a row, and I saw him all 6 days, right? Because it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the next week again. The last day, every time I would see him, he'd be like, "Hey, let's talk festival, like let's do something." And again, the next day we'll see him again. And then the last day going in, he said, "Hey, I'm serious. Like let's get on a call next week." So I'm like, "Cool." I let Chris know. We got on a call. He knew everything about my mixtapes. Like it's like if he saw this interview, right?
That's awesome.
And he's like, "Look,
He did his work. He knew. He really knew he wanted to get involved with you because he did his work.
So we get on the call, and he starts it off like this: like, "Hey guys, I know everything my mixtapes do. You don't have to explain anything.
Nice.
Like, let's just go straight to it. Like, I want to give you guys a festival. What city do you guys want to do, right? Because that matters. And me and Danny brainstormed, Atlanta or LA, and we came up in the middle, Dallas, right? Because of Texas, we do a lot on South by Southwest, which is in Austin, not that far from Dallas. So, all right, we found common ground, venue, and then now talking logistics and money, right? So they gave us a budget. Yeah, they gave us a one-off. Like, let's see what you guys do. And we were able to sell it out, right, 2 weeks before.
And be profitable.
Which was huge. No one could believe like that they gave us a huge venue to begin with. Usually they start you off with 2,000 cap, right? And they gave us 4,600, 4,700, I think, or 5,600.
Sure, it was like 5,000,
So they gave us a 5,000 cap, a venue, huge, hard tickets, which any artist will tell you is the hardest thing to do. It's not a club. A club, people could be going there for the music, and you happen to walk through and, and make it seem like everyone came for you, right? Yeah. This is like a hard put together show, live performance with production. Production means a huge stage, lights, fog, fire, disco ball, the whole nine, right? Yeah. Projection. And then, me and Danny went back, and because of my mixtapes, we were able to figure out what artists work with us. We know, from our past experiences, who to work with, the relationships that we have. Danny picked up the call, made some amazing calls, right?
No, and like I always say, I get down and so we book Money Bag Yo, and I'm calling their CEO, and I'm like, where you at? I'll meet up with you. Oh, I'm at the mall. A lot of executives would be like, I'm not gonna go. Like, I'm pulling up to the mall, having the meeting with him while he's shopping. Yeah. Like, what do you want? Like, let's do this. I'll give you this, and I'll do this. All right, cool. Let's lock it in.
So, thanks to the few phone calls that you had to do, you had to have the lineup already, right? Yeah. Which were huge artists, and they're the money draw, right? It's just like a fight. You got to have a good headliner. Of
course, right.
If it's pay-per-view, no one's going to tune in. If it's free, maybe. So this is a pay show. A lot of money involved. A no-risk deal, which was perfect on our end, but we always want to deliver.
Of course.
And we know that if we succeed, beyond, our expectations, there's going to be more down the line. There's no reason, right? So Danny brought the co-headliner and probably the rest of the headliners, and then I made a crazy phone calls to lock in the headliner, Meg Thee Stallion. Me and Danny had to activate our
this before she got shot.
Yeah, before she got shot. We activated a mutual friend that we had, Bobby. Shout out Bobby in Atlanta, and he was on tour with her because she was a part of the Future tour, and he's on Future's team. So
blood
me, Danny
cousin
called.
team.
Yeah, we called them. Say, hey, I need a huge favor. Like when you see Meg get off the stage or whatever, ask her to do our show. We already threw in offers for her, right? And he did it. He called me one day like, hey, she said she's gonna do it. I just talked to her, and within 3 minutes, I got an email. That's how. Like, it wouldn't have worked any other way, because an artist like her, of her status, she's getting offers maybe every 10 minutes, right? From all over the world.
Do my festival.
So a lot of that goes back to building that network of not friendships, but those people who are like, yo, my mixtape never did me dirty. They've always been there.
But
These
some
people
of them have become friendships. Like Bobby.
Oh yeah, right.
Bobby, we know him for like 8 years.
Yeah,
you know. But so Ricky moved to LA. Bobby's from Atlanta. Bobby gets back in the game in the music side. He starts traveling to LA, and Ricky's like, "Come on,
open all the doors.
Meet this guy." I even was like, "Hey, Bobby, meet STEM distribution company." Boom, they do the meeting at my office. Boom, connect them right there. Future's mom comes in there. They have the whole meeting right there. Ricky's taking them to meet AEG, mate. So why wouldn't you want to help him? Yeah. This guy just open 20 doors for you that it probably would have took you 2-3 years to get to,
or more, or never,
you know?
And did it at no price. Just did it organically.
Love, you know?
Right.
Some of these people, like, they don't like hanging out or even talking to other people, right? And is because I'm in there, I'm able to bring them in, right? And it's just like anything. If I bring you around certain people, they get that vibe off of you, you're good. Like, you know, they'll probably follow you on Instagram right away. But if they don't want to see you, you know, they'll let you know, right? But Bobby, everyone loved him. I was able to bring him, like, to the Lakers game, Sweet Box with my friends, and introduce him to everyone, you know? And he saw that. He was grateful for it. He got to meet Ice Cube, too, and the other actors from Friday. And finally, when I needed something, I called him. He delivered, right? And it was a huge move that we needed to do. And we sold out the show, you know, with the lineup that we were able to put up. We came up under budget. We spent way less than what they gave us. Because of the relationships we have with the artists, we were able to structure certain things. So they're taking less than their fee, right? Even Meg Thee Stallion took less. And we sold out. This is December. Sold out all the hard tickets. We sold out all the tickets in such a fast time that, you know, production gets tickets, right? Radio station gets tickets. Friends and family get tickets.
Right.
AEG needed tickets to sell. They knew they could put anything online, it will sell, right, at whatever price. So they started taking tickets back. They started calling the radio station, hey, how many you have? How many we gave you?
Wow.
We're taking back. Like, it became that draw of a show. It was so huge. And day of the show, no hiccups. Everyone came.
Oh, yeah.
Sold out. Amazing time. We had people lining up from 9 in the morning.
So you show these people that you guys can kill it when you do this.
And on the corporate side, which is, you know, a lot harder.
Business. And then, they handled it accordingly, right?
Yeah. So,
but then COVID hit.
So COVID hit, but in between March, from when COVID hit, me and Danny was in LA, and we sat down with Johnny again. We had dinner, and Chris, and we structured, like, you know, another deal. 4 more shows we're supposed to do this year, right? And this time make it a tour kind of, and bring it around the country. So it's gonna be Atlanta, Dallas again, LA, and maybe like Denver.
So in due time, that's gonna pop back up. I don't want to be pessimistic, but I feel like that's gonna be a while.
Yeah, I mean,
but whatever, it's there, obviously.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you this though: COVID, did it hurt y'all? No.
Really, we're digital, and we've always.
Which, if anything, it might have helped y'all because it forces people to get more in tune with, you know, whatever's going on digitally. Yeah, exactly. So
like on the My Mixtape side, like our shit just jumped. Like, it's going crazy. Social media's going crazy. And the label is picking up, you know, independently. So I would say we're very blessed at this moment right now, like with both of our companies, and, you know, the festival, you know, it's not shut down. It's just things open back up. Yeah. We know how to do it. We proved it.
Like Ricky was telling me when we were training a couple days ago, it's just for the company, not for you guys, for AEG. It doesn't make sense to force a festival that's going to be according to the guidelines.
Correct.
Because that is not going to allow them to put enough people in there
to make money.
or and it'll probably be a fiasco, and they'll probably break, codes, and then it'll be stupid. So makes total sense not do it now. But we know, you guys know that it's going to happen once you guys open back up, and you guys have the following, you have the structure, you have the professionalism, which is dope. Who are some? I mean, I'm asking this for the fans because I don't know. Minus that young girl that you guys put me on, who I think she's fucking awesome. Who are some artists that you guys are fucking with on a personal level, whether you signed them or not, that people can look out for, that people can look up, listening to them? Yeah. That you guys are putting a little bit of extra effort into.
On the independent label, like you will have like Carmen Mena, and me and Ricky are very hands on. We're working with her right now.
That's a Chicago girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I work with another kid named Elvie the guy from
Also
Chicago.
yeah.
Super dope.
Who was the Latino who came to Miami that once on
Elvie.
Friday? That's
that
Elvie?
he's supposed to come. No, that was another kid that Ricky was just scoping out, just wanted to see.
He wasn't a Latino though. Yeah, he's from Jacksonville. It was just so in music you have to do this flying A&R, flying a few artists, or you fly out to them, but it's better they come to you, and just put them to the test. Like, hey, I got some beats, get on it, see how fast they work, which is a huge importance, because if they can't write a song or freestyle a song, or writing they could learn, but if they can't freestyle a song already, forget about it. Because they need it. Once they hear the beat, it needs to come to them like at that instance. You can't be waiting and mumbling.
That can't be taught. Like, you gotta have it in you. You gotta have that music in you.
You guys still haven't heard me freestyle?
I'm waiting. You're supposed to send me a song like 3 years ago.
I would love to do it right now, but the fans don't want to hear the shit that I got. But okay, so anyhow, give us some handles. Give the fans some handles that we can all follow, that everybody can get in tune with you. I know you guys got a few. You got personal. You have your My Mixtape ones.
Yeah.
You have your YouTube channel, which by the way is doing dope, and not just one channel, but several channels. Like, people listening, if we haven't given you enough during the podcast, like, just look these fellas up. Look, think about what they've been through. There's only so much we can say. I don't want to give stupid details and bore anybody listening, but. Yeah. Literally, while we was in break, while we was doing some camera adjustments and everything else, Danny's over here telling me about what I should be working on with my YouTube channel, and then he started showing me the different YouTube channels that they have, and who got what views from different artists to their own YouTube channel. To like, you guys have a huge following on YouTube. You already have 500-some thousand,
almost 600,000
subscribers. That's fucking ginormous. Unless you're a Joe Roganish or whatever,
correct,
like that's huge. That's huge. On Instagram, you already have
1.1.
And then what's that handle?
At My Mixtape.
So just at My Mixtape. Okay,
all our handles right now are at My Mixtape.
Which, by the way, I love the new logo, or however long that logo's been around. The double M one with the red and all. Oh, love it. So y'all look that up. On I don't have Twitter, same thing. My Mixtape, like what Ricky just said.
Yeah, they're all the same.
So everything's My Mixtape.
Yeah, correct.
Okay,
with
I don't know.
With a Z at the end.
Yep.
Okay, so MYMIXTAPEZ. Okay, you guys remember that. I don't know if you guys don't post much personally.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Our life.
Yeah. I mean, but that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. Too many people try too hard on that. You do that when you have a moment, and
correct.
you guys both had moments with you and your kid and so on and so forth, and you with the wife.
Married.
My
I
dog.
forgot the ring. I'm gonna get in trouble, but shout out to my wife.
Bro,
it's because look.
Listen, shout out to your wife, because I know Ricky loves you to hell. I know a lot about you in Brazil and all that. Yeah, let him explain.
So when you first get the ring, Danny's gonna get one. I don't know when, but it's new on the hand, right? So you're always fidgety. You're always taking it off, putting it on the other fingers. And I happened to do that before I took a shower, and I left it in the bathroom.
Yo, I expect your wife to be listening. He left his ring on our first training session since he got back. Yeah. Then he came and almost left it again. I had to tell him, "Yo, Rick, your ring," and I had to get the fucking ring. Like, I get it, dog. Like, it's not like this. Rick's not being a bad guy.
I'm not used to having things like jewelry on like that on my fingers. So
that's flashy guy over here. Nah, my dog's keeping it cool with just the watch and a little bracelet. Yeah. I never see somebody put the bracelet behind the watch though.
Shout.
You
finally had a shout.
Y'all hear this motherfucker calling me? So when he calls me shout, that's him saying shouty, and he's shortening shouty. Shouty has an SHAWTY. That's an Atlanta thing. I don't know where this fucking Bato Loco from Miami Homestead started saying shouty, and then he turned it to shout. So now he's calling me
gonna be
shout.
shout.
No, in Atlanta, shout is his own word. It's not shouty.
It's his own lingo out
It's
there.
his own lingo. Atlanta
That's
got
great.
their
Hey,
own-
I don't want to be a dickhead, but you're in Miami.
Oh yeah, said it.
There you go. There you go. My boys still know it.
Yeah, he still got it.
He still got it. Yeah, he still got it. Yo, fellas, you guys know that on a personal level, I got mad love for y'all, man. You know, we've grown a great bond, a great friendship, and I definitely know that it's going to continue strengthening and all that. But outside the friendship, man, what you guys have done from a business perspective and the example that you are to so many people, you know, from the youngins to the fucking foreigners to the kids who grew up with parents who came from another country and had to go through the struggles and all that. You guys are a great example. You guys are a great example of good parenting. Good, you know, great.
And I want to address the audience, right? And I hope Danny does too. Like,
Okay.
for the people that are watching it, like, they could have a dream, right? Whatever it is, if it's playing sports or if it's creating a company or selling shoes, whatever it could be, like, I want them to not only just watch this interview but learn from it, right? And take us as an example that, you know, you're going to have a lot of downs before a lot of ups, right? But even before that, like, just learning what you love, finding out what you love. Like, Danny found out what he loved from the beginning, right? It was business, and his second love was music, right? Yeah. My thing was always music too, and you know, learning from him, and both of us learning from the older brother, Juan, right? So for people at home, like, you know, that still don't know what they're going to do, you have the internet, right? Which we really didn't have. You know, YouTube was really early. Right. Twitter didn't even exist, or Instagram, right? But now that, you know, these tools exist, take advantage of it. Like we were playing around earlier about your ex not knowing how to put air in the tire.
Right.
You have YouTube, like, you can learn really how to code now, like, on YouTube, right? And become a really good programmer, right? You can learn how to make your own podcast. You can learn how to jailbreak phones, or now people are making accessories for iPhone, making it out of business or selling on Amazon.
Yeah.
So just for the people at home, like, use the internet, use the resources. If you can't reach, you know, any of us, I don't think it's that hard to reach out to other people who are probably more successful than us or at the same level, right? You can hit their Twitter handle or read their things online.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
I'll just give Ricky's in a shorter version, right? No excuses.
Yeah.
That's right.
There's no
There is none.
excuses. No excuses. No
Don't
matter
be-
where
yeah,
you
don't be
come
scared.
from. You know, what we created from zero is because we took no for an answer. Oh, you can't do that. No, that's not true. We could do it. You can't do it. You know, we're going to learn. Okay, we took that L. We took that lesson. All right, we're going to do it better. We're going to fix it. You know, we fucked up here and lost money and had, you know, whatever. Okay, we took that lesson. Now we got to, you know, so it's like there's no excuse and you got to figure it out. Anybody that's under me that wants to work, I don't take no excuses from them.
Yeah, because we've done all the jobs, right, in our position in the company, and we've done it for a long time, and we've done it when there was no money involved. We're doing it for free, right? So when we hire people and they complain, like, I did your job, and I did it when we didn't have a computer, right, or when we didn't have a laptop.
Right,
so
right.
that applies to everything for everyone. Like, if you're trying to be a gamer or if you're trying to sell clothes, like, okay, do it, but don't wait for a mistake to happen. Like, you can already kind of go online and someone will tell you, hey, I fucked up right here.
Yeah.
I printed too many of these same shirts when I should have waited. Like, you could take that.
So the saying is, a smart man learns from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from others.
Yep.
So being that you have the access to the internet, and stories like yourselves and many others, like you said, like other people that you can reach out to who might be more successful than you. It's really not about who's more successful financially or anything. It's just, hey, who
knowledge,
who can spit some fire, some knowledge that's gonna help you become a better version of you. You guys are great examples, man. I think it's really dope for so many reasons, and you guys haven't even gotten close to your peak, and I think that's fucking phenomenal. I can't wait.
I can't wait too.
I can't wait to have y'all back on, whether with Juan or it doesn't matter, but have y'all back on and then tell everybody else. Like I told you guys before we started the podcast, and I'm not a superstitious guy, and I'm not saying that I'm no I think I'm a blessing in your life if you allow me to be a part of your life, because I think I bring nothing but positive influences.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I say that. But everybody who's come across the podcast, I told you guys that earlier, for whatever reason you want to call it, almost everybody, it's almost a complete all the way across the board. After the podcast, whatever it is that they were doing got so much better. Followings, productivity, business,
All right.
financial gains,
I
whatever
already
it
told
is.
you if by
Fighter
next week
records.
I don't answer your phone,
Yeah.
it's because I'm out of
Because
here.
he made it right.
Yeah.
So I hope that trend keeps going. But really, again, I'm not superstitious, guys. I know you guys are going to keep fucking knocking it out the box and killing it, man. And again, the reason we did this podcast, I know we were planning to do this a long time ago, but like we said the story, you guys made these big moves and you had to move. I happened to get you guys both in Miami at the same time. And I was like, yo, Rick, what? Danny's coming into town? Yeah, man. He's bringing the family. All right, well, we got to do a podcast.
Yeah.
I've been dying to do this. I want y'all's story out there. I want everybody to understand my mixtape. Even if you don't know it, follow it. If you're not into the hip hop, it's an amazing story. Look where it's at now. Look where it keeps going. And it's nowhere near what it's going to be. That inspires me the same way I look at the podcast. And you told me when you first walked in here, Danny, and you saw the podcast studio, like, damn, Wes, you better never stop. We didn't even sit down. We didn't even talk about nothing. You just looked at me and gave me your most serious look. You better never stop with this. And that's the same thing with you guys. That's the attitude you guys had, and that's why y'all going to make it big. So it's very inspiring. So, yo, I really appreciate y'all for coming, man. There's nothing but love for both of y'all. I know y'all guys going to hit it big. So, yo, y'all listening, follow. Just type in My Mixtape everything. My Mixtape Twitter, My Mixtape fucking Instagram, My Mixtape everything. You guys going to, these guys are so humble. They're not flashing on anything, but you're talking about Danny Duenas, Ricky Duenas. Shout out to Jose and Juan out there. I know Jose's doing his own thing now. I know Juan's still connected. I met Juan. He's amazing. Shout out to Juice. Everybody else involved. Chris as well.
Chris,
The three Cubans that you shouted out, man. Amazing piece of
if
the
they
pie.
watch this, hit us up.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Let's get you back out there, whatever. And everybody paying attention, listening to you, listen to the podcast. Really appreciate the love. Like I told you guys, man, we hit 500 subscribers. That ain't shit. I expect so much more. So help spread the word. Follow, recommend us to some friends. Appreciate all the support. Go follow these guys. Go show your support, especially if you're into the music industry or you want some inspiration. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you guys in the next one. Love and peace. Take care.
Shout out Chris one more time, and Bugs, and Emma, and name all the kids.